VFL Live. VFL Live.
It's a high ball! He's got it! Leonton takes the mark. There's one for the highlights. Right foot. Oh, don't tell me! Big mark! What a mark! Settle from 49, have a shot at goal, and put it through! He's missed it! Port Premiers! The Borough have done it!
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Oh, yes it is, and you know when we get to September we just go up a gear here on Peter Jackson, VFL Live. Hello and welcome to Stannard Stadium, Northport Oval, for the first of the Elimination finals here on Peter Jackson, VFL Live. The start of what is going to be an incredible month of football. We hope you can stay with us live on VFL.com.au, our final live stream game for season 2018, and we're really looking forward to it. Overcast conditions here at Port Melbourne today. We've had a bit of rain, the showers coming through. They will continue throughout the afternoon, but we are setting ourselves up for a big afternoon and a big evening as well. 3 games coming your way on Peter Jackson VFL Live across this weekend, and I'm not going to have any voice by the end of it. But our main focus is on Box Hill and Port Melbourne. The other game, the qualifying final between the Casey Demons and Geelong. We'll be keeping a close eye on that one and bringing you plenty of score updates as the afternoon goes along. Port Melbourne just going through their preliminary warm-ups. Good crowd building up to inside the grandstand. A lot of folks taking shelter. We're going to hear from both coaches shortly, and then we'll be getting stuck into this one. The bounce of the ball at 2:10 this afternoon. I'm Peter Mercado. Great to be with you across this great month of football. The Love the Game final series, and alongside me, as he will be across the Saturdays of the warm-up finals anyway before the granny, Michael Leeds. Very nice to see you.
Good afternoon, Peter, and to everyone tuning in. Yeah, great to be here, isn't it? Fantastic to see these two clubs kicking off the final series. Such a history between the two of them. They've given so much over the last little while. In recent memory, it really has been one of the great rivalries of the Peter Jackson VFL, so couldn't be better set up. I can't wait to get underway.
Oh yes, it won't be too far away. Our man on the boundary this afternoon, who's going to be joining us, of course, across the final series too, is Glenn Hill. Hilly, not the most ideal of conditions, but let's just say it's not Williamstown a couple of weeks ago. Welcome to you.
Yes, well, it certainly isn't, and very pleased to be here at Port Melbourne. It's such a great, iconic ground and home of the finals, and really looking forward to this contest today. Yes, we have got some wet conditions at the moment, but if you're in the area, it should cool down because this will be a great final. I get the feeling that we'll be in for a very, very tight contest.
Paul Amy wrote a great article in the Herald Sun online earlier in the week talking about the rivalry between these two teams. Met this stage last season as well, and we went back all the way back to 2010 where these two played a final, and Toby Pinwell just decided to just make a mess of a couple of the Box Hill players and got sent off during that game. And it was a reminder that it was a player, Jaden Hogle of the Box Hill Hawks, who scored the winner with about 30 seconds to go in the match. Since then, there's just been this incredible rivalry between these two sides. We've had Alistair Clarkson get involved at times as well. It's amazing that these two front up and they just have close results all the time.
Oh, it's incredible, and I really do think we're in for a tight contest today, and the history between the two clubs will be on the line. It's a knockout contest. You just couldn't ask for anything better for a Saturday afternoon to find out who's the better team out of Box Hill and Port Melbourne.
Now, while we talked about close encounters, they have met once this season. That was back in round 15, and it was the Box Hill Hawks getting the win there, 15-20, 110 to Port Melbourne, 10-7, 67. But we look across last year, we talk about the qualifying final, and it was a win for Box Hill, 77-64. Then in round 18 last year, it was Port Melbourne, 86-58, and then it was a draw back in round 7. So that just gives you a little bit of the sample size, or a little bit of the games and the rivalry that's been building up over the immediate past anyway. We're really looking forward to it. In terms of the team news for this afternoon, Leedsy, it is very, very heavily stacked, the Box Hill Hawks side, with Hawks players, which is putting a smile on your face as they try and maybe Well, there's a couple of them could be pushing for spots for Thursday night.
Yeah, it certainly adds another
Ladies and
dimension
gentlemen, welcome to the Peter Jackson VFL Love the Game
to the
final
edge
series
of the
Stannard
Hawks.
Stadium
They've
for
got some
today's
guys that are going to be
Peter
on the
Jackson
edge of
VFL
selection.
second elimination
They do turn
final
around
between the
quickly into
Box Hill
Thursday.
Hawks
Jonathan
and Port
Segler
Melbourne.
rested
Please
for
welcome our
exactly that
umpires for
reason.
this afternoon's
He
match. Field
is fit to
umpires
play,
Daniel
but has been
Butcher,
given
Michael
a
Curtis
pass
and
in
Nathan
case he is
Taylor.
required for that
Down
final
umpires
against
Blake
Richmond
Anderson,
at the
Bryson
MCG.
Aston, Adam
There's
Bell,
plenty of
and
talent.
Nicholas Thornton.
It's
Goal umpire
unfortunate that
Patrick
guys like
Dwyer
Mackie and
and Ben
Murphy,
Jones.
Evans and Nelson Lane has just played the one game this year. They'll all miss as part of the Box Hill list. But there's some strength there, isn't there, across the bottom of that page for Hawthorn. But Hilly, we say it often, there's that much depth within this competition, especially the way they're represented under Gary Ayres, that the names on paper can mean precious little in the first final of September.
Certainly true, Leedsy, and you only have to look back to last season. Port Melbourne, not an AFL-affiliated club, took all before them in the finals and really took on a really extremely good Richmond outfit in the grand final and got the win in what was probably the most exciting grand final we've seen in the VFL in the last 20 years. So, yep, names on paper, they look fantastic, but it's all about cohesion, following game plan, knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses and playing to them. And look, Box Hill have had a good season and they've finished strongly. Their last two games were really solid. When you look at Port Melbourne, they lost 600 games of experience going into this season. They've been able to replace it, and they've been able to produce a season that it nearly got them into the top four. So I think we're in for a great contest. And when I look at the names on the Port Melbourne list, and you look at there's probably about 15 premiership players on that list, all out there today, and six Port Melbourne debutants playing their first final. It's a really exciting mix.
We haven't worked out, we're right under the speaker over the other side of the ground. That's why we go the other side for these sort of things. But they've had big wins too. They have beaten the teams around them and plenty of top four contenders, including Geelong last week. Hilly, when it was a little bit quieter, you caught up with the Box Hill Hawks assistant coach, Max Bailey, and he was upbeat about the chances of the Hawks side going into this one today.
It's obviously a do-or-die game today, and how's your team prepared?
No, it's been a good week. We're looking forward to a good game, and always against Port, it's a good close game. So hopefully it goes our way.
And you've run into the finals in very good form.
Reasonable form. We had 2 good wins the last 2 weeks against some good opposition, but prior to that we were pretty scratchy. So we're confident, but we know we've got a bit of work to do still.
It's always a big battle playing Port Melbourne, and in particular on this ground. Where do you see your strengths against their strengths today?
I think if anyone looks at the stats, you can see that our strength lies in the uncontested possession and being able to control the ball a bit. And Port like to go pretty quick, and their stats-wise, it'll show that as well. So we pride ourselves on the defensive side of the game too. So I think that'll be where it's either won or lost.
And that might help you today with a little bit of rain coming down as well. Always a strong defence usually prevails. Also, too, just going in fully healthy today, no injury concerns?
Yeah, it was just the Hawthorn game being Thursday night that perhaps threw 1 or 2 players out. But other than that, we've got some good ins. Daniel Howe plays first game in 5 weeks or so. Taya Miles and Caden Brand have come back from AFL. So we're pretty strong, but it meant that a few of our Box Hill guys who had been performing really well, like Nick Evans, Billy Murphy, they missed out, unfortunately.
Also, too, coming up against Port Melbourne today, coming up against the might of Gary Ayres and co. You look forward to coaching against him?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about these two teams. Even when I was at Hawthorn playing, you'd watch these games against Box Hill, Port Melbourne, they'd just be so closely contested. So maybe it's Gary getting up against his old club, and maybe it's a bit of the rivalry of a Lion club versus a non-Lion club. So it always makes for a bit of fun.
Certainly does, Max, and I think it'll be a great game today. And thanks again for your time on VFL Live, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
So that is Max Bailey. Let's get straight into the Port camp, because earlier Glen Hill caught up with their coach Gary Ayres, and always a good catch up with Gary Ayres, the reigning premiers, Port Melbourne, and setting themselves up for another big campaign here today.
Look, it's been a good season for you guys, considering you lost all that experience through the premiership last year.
Yeah, I think it's been an interesting one, no doubt, because we've probably shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times with inaccurate kicking and just being somewhat inconsistent in quarters, and probably Willie a couple of weeks ago when you guys did the game, I reckon we defended really well for 20 minutes and they'd only scored 1 goal, and then we let them jag 4 in that last sort of 10 or 12 minutes. So we really need to make sure that what we do today is about what we can control. And I think one of the good things is we only played Box Hill 6 weeks ago, and we took some really good learnings out of that, and hopefully we'll be able to implement that in a much better way than what we did out there at Box Hill City Oval.
Through the season, Box Hill have been really good defensively, and you guys have as well throughout long periods of the season as well. And you would say that it could be a battle today, given the weather as well, that it could be a battle of the defences?
Yeah, I think so, but I guess I've always probably had a fairly strong philosophy that the bigger the game, and no doubt this is the biggest one we're going to entertain ourselves in for this year so far, is that you've got to have a winning midfield, and I think it's really important that we get a lot out of those guys that are going to go through there. And they've got Pittonet, and of course they've got Cousins, and they've obviously got Moore, and of course they've got O'Rourke, and you could go on and on and on about what they have available. But we back our side because a lot of those guys are going to play in there today are premiership players from last year anyway, and I think on this ground it's obviously our home deck. You're right about the conditions. We just sort of got that little bit of rain out of the way before, so where that happens in relation to affecting the game, it's going to make the grass obviously somewhat wet, but does that mean that they're bigger guys, because they are obviously a bigger side, does that not come into play as much? And of course there's more on the ground and we've got a smaller side, so we'll probably know pretty much in the first quarter or so.
Certainly will. And also too, just with the ground condition today, the ground's in really good condition considering the drama that we've been through this year.
Yeah, well, we haven't trained actually through the middle for 3 weeks, so we've been very kind to the Port Phillip Council, I can assure you of that. So, but what we need to do is, again, it shouldn't matter too much. At times I think we've been a little bit of a victim of obviously not being able to train through the middle, because the way we play is reasonably aggressive ball movement when we can get our ball movement right. But we don't have that as much, so of course I think we've been a little bit stagnant in that regard. But maybe Box Hill too, they like to use obviously all the ground. So again, we've got to make sure that our ability to close down their uncontested marks is really, really strong. And we've really got to be very, very careful that they will try and use their players as much as they can to get their ball movement going. It's quite meticulous and methodic. So maybe if it does get a bit wet, then they can't use the ball as well as they once would if the conditions were fine.
And also too, going into the game, everybody healthy? No issues?
No, all good. We only really made the one change. So for us to come in with a little bit of momentum, which I thought we got last week against the Dogs, I think it's important. There'll be 6 players who'll play their first final for the club. And as you mentioned previously, we've lost a lot of experience. So, but I'm really looking forward to it. We're a young group. And of course, with youth comes excitement and exuberance. And we'll certainly be giving our best shot today. There's no doubt about that.
And I think we're in for a cracker of a game. Really exciting day. Good luck, Gary, and we'll see you in one of the breaks.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much. Good calling.
Beautifully done. Thank you, Gary Ayres, down there with Glenn Hill. Hilly will stay with you because we've just had the toss of the coin, but give us a sense of those ground conditions, because you did say in those interviews that the conditions are looking pretty good this afternoon despite the weather. Yeah, they are, but obviously we pre-recorded those interviews a good half an hour or so ago, and there's been a little bit of rain in between, but certainly the centre square area is the wettest part of the ground, and Gary mentioned they haven't been able to train there for the last few weeks through the middle, and it is quite wet underfoot and muddy in certain patches. So if we do get some rain, that centre square is going to rip up a little bit, unfortunately. But for the remainder of the ground, it's in really good condition. We have got a little bit of surface water just around the edges of the wings and the half-forward flanks, but that's just given to the rain that has come down in the last half an hour or so. Well, it'll be a thing of the past because they're going to redo the grounds, the council, which is great to see at the end of the season, but let's see how it holds up. A tip from you, please. I'm going to go with the heart today and say Port win by 2 points. Are you doing the same, Leedsy, but the other way?
I'm expecting it to be tight, Pete.
Yeah, and
I hope
the Box Hill win.
the Hawks get across the line.
That's what I love. I love the fact that Hawthorn didn't play last night. Is the fact you have a voice left. That's great. And my man's playing today too. Don't worry about that. Anthony Anastasio is lining up for Port Melbourne. A little bit of push and shove in the middle. Andrew Moore won the toss for Box Hill and be kicking to the Bob Bonnet end or to the right of your smartphone or computer in this opening quarter. Still a little bit of niggle in the middle of the ground. Tommy O'Sullivan, the senior O'Sullivan, in amongst it too. We'll be keeping a close eye on the other game as well. The Casey Demons will be in action against Geelong. But all appears to be in readiness. 2:10 ticks around. The umpire holds the ball aloft. Let's get this Love the Game final series underway. Port Melbourne and Box Hill.
September action has started. Pitneck got the first tap, but it was taken away by Haratuku. Lang had a kick. It got to the wing. Little Red's going to be first there. Picked up the bouncing ball. Hams goes back over his head. Waddell's got the footy. Snaps it round the corner inside the 50, but the Hawks are there. And Lovell will take the mark across his half-back flank. Little dodgy kick for Brand, made him work across ground level. He picks up the loose ball and handball to O'Rourke. Being closed down by Pearson, goes back to Brand. Around the corner on his left, kick no good. Wolfenden got in the way, got it to O'Sullivan Senior from 45. This would be a magnificent start, and the Borough are on the board. Within 40 seconds of the opening term getting underway, they're 1 straight 6. Box Hill yet to score.
Oh, that's the sort of start you want. These two teams, in terms of the stats, rather free-flowing, uncontested possession. Box Hill leading that stat across this season. As he did say, Hilly, we're going to find out in the opening quarter how this is going to go.
He certainly did, and what an electric start for the Borough. They have come out of the starting blocks red hot.
Oh yes, score from Casey. We'll get them. That's just getting underway. We'll get that for you shortly as the ball from the bounce makes its way to the other side of the ground. Wolfenden first onto the footy. Gets it across, working there Masiti. Kicks up towards half forward. 2-on-2 contest. The ball spills free. No, can get clean possession. Now a chance for the Hawks as O'Brien just works it out. Across they go. Now it's been turned over again. Wolfenden early in the action, but he's coughed it up. Moore getting in there for Box Hill. He's just trying to paddle it forward. It's near the boundary line. It goes over on that outer side. We'll have it thrown in. Half forward with Port Melbourne leading 6-0. Early stages here at Stannard Stadium. Home of the Love the Game VFL Final Series here at Port Melbourne. 2 minutes in. Ball tossed back in. And then Haratuku gets it down to Wolfenden, immediately wrapped up in the tackle by Lovell. Ball allowed to spill free, but again it's locked in. Again it comes back out. Chance now for the Hawks to get some run. Ball evades Masidi. Now a chance here as the ball from Cousins heads inside 50 for Box Hill, and they're going to get a free kick for over the shoulder. And it looks like it's going to be Lewis, Mitchell Lewis. Prolific goal kicker this season, 36 goals for the Box Hill Hawks. Was in contention for the Frosty Miller medal, which was won by Nick Larkey of North Melbourne. He'll line up, chance at the first here for Box Hill. Man on the mark is Little Red, it's Anthony Anastasio. He drew the short straw there from 48 metres. The kick from Lewis, long, straight, goal. Immediate response from the Box Hill Hawks. And we're 1 straight 6 apiece. We play 3 minutes opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Yeah, really important for Box Hill to strike back, and they did. Great ball movement. Not sure about the free kick. Didn't look to be a lot in it. And considering we're in a final, I would have thought the Tiki Touchwood free kicks would be left alone today, but there might have been something I didn't see. But just on ground level, didn't see a hell of a lot in that contest.
So if this is the standard, we're in for a rollicking afternoon. 3.5 gone. 1 apiece, 1 straight 6 apiece. Arnott's back in the middle here. He's got some help in Lang, who's being set upon by Moore. Was that in the back? No, allowed to go on. Lovell comes up with the footy, got it away. Hanrahan inside the 50, the top of the square. 1-on-1, well played Cook. Oh, he did all the work and then couldn't take the chest mark. It's over the line though. And it'll be a rush behind for the Hawks. Masidi to bring it back in.
So he's deciding which way to go. He's going to hug the Norm Goss stand side, or our broadcast side today. Long kick. Oh, Haratuku flew. Couldn't take the mark. Still an opportunity for the Borough as they head up that wing, but the kick going to no one in particular. O'Brien gets his onto it. Little dribbler was okay. Handball over the top by Cousins. trying to find some space, doing really well was Lovell. Now they've got an opportunity, brought down, player couldn't quite pick it up. Now an opportunity again for the Burrows. They work through the middle of the ground. Lang has to be clean. He was crunched afterwards. Got the ball across to Adele. Little Red's all on his own inside 50. That's where the kick goes, but the ball just got to stop for him. It does, near the goal line, dribbling. Yes! Oh, yes! The Igniter's up and about. Burrow up and about as well. That's when you get him into the side for finals time. 2 straight 12 plays, 1-1-7. Early stages in this opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. He's up and about early, Leety.
What a start. The dash.
How was the dribbler? How was the dribbler there?
It was sensational footy. He just got on the end of it just in time before it rushed through for a behind, and just to dribble it through on the right. Fantastic footy from Anastasio. 2
quick goals to Casey opening quarter. Casey 2 straight, Geelong yet to score.
Back in the middle, O'Rourke couldn't take it. Hooper just hacked it off the ground, got it inside the 50, fisted away. Pearson at ground level, knocked away by Glass to Brand, who kicks a long ball. Not going to get all the purchase, but it suits Andrew Moore, who sits underneath it for the Hawks. And the skipper just stops and props and then swings before a bit of a dodgy old kick to Dylan. That's Hanrahan, I should say, who keeps going to the outer side. Geray's on the end of this. Dylan Moore with the footy now. 55 out on the flank on the outer side. He steers it into the path of Jones,
good kick,
who made a really strong lead. And the kick was absolutely perfect. Nothing defenders can do there. And Jones will take the shot. 45 out. I think he's about a 45-degree angle there on the outer side. Perhaps a little tighter there. So it'll take some kicking. His side trails 7-12. Had an injury-interrupted year, has Chris Jones. Just the 5 games, resulting in the 3 goals. Be a nice way to get underway here. Kick is on its way. He hit it pretty well, but it's just fading. I reckon he snuck it home. Hawks have got their second. They're 2-1-13. Port Melbourne are 2 straight 12. And I tell you, this is a way to spend a Saturday afternoon in September. Magnificent standard, 6.5 into the opening term.
Hilly, no breeze. Isn't it good when there's no breeze for the standard of footy?
Oh, absolutely sensational that we haven't got any wind today, because you just don't want it blowing 6 goals to one end and really disadvantaging one team per quarter. And at the moment, we've got a contest and a half on our hands. Both teams firing on all cylinders.
We do, ball back in the middle, and away we go again. Opportunity for Port Melbourne this time as the kick heads to our broadcast sides. They try and work their way through here. The Hawks, good pressure here. O'Brien ran onto the footy. He kicks up centre wing, not quite hitting his target. He might get the ball back, although it's in dispute. Now an opportunity again to mop up, and they work it back. Hams, prolific for Box Hill this season. His kick up towards half forward, partially smothered. It falls into the path of Ross, who just hurls it on the boot. Goes with a long ball. Here we go, open goal square again. Opportunity for Whitecross, who kicks the goal. I told you to be free-flowing this afternoon. It's certainly living up to that. Whitecross gets his first of the afternoon, and we're on track for 3,000 points. Early stages of this opening quarter. The Love the Game final series on Peter Jackson VFL Live. We've played 8 minutes, 3-1-19, plays 2 straight 12. Box Hill leading.
When we talked pre-game, we talked about maybe a game, a battle of the defences today. At the moment, we need one of the defences to stand up, because it is just free-flowing footy at the moment. It's electrifying stuff. It's great to watch.
This was like the Legends game, just sped up from last night.
Here's Haratuku in the middle. Got it down river, couldn't take it. Haratuku did. It's fisted away by the Hawks, though. It's going to spill for Lang, who runs to 55. Has a long shot. Is that another? Oh, yes!
What a start.
Hang on to your hats this afternoon. The Hawks lead 3-1-19. Port Melbourne 3 straight 18.
Do you just want to go with your last comment again, Hilly?
Yeah, I can't believe what's happening here. We've got 6 goals inside 9 minutes, and we thought it might have been a game of defence. So it certainly is not turning out that way at the moment.
Still a 2-goal lead to Casey. A few quick goals on the board for the Demons. Now 24 plays 0. It's a 4-goal lead early stages for the Casey Demons at home. Port get another clearance. High ball inside 50. Going out for the mark there was Dixon. He couldn't take it. Now a chance here for the Hawks as they look to clear Kilpatrick. Just gets the ball out to that outer side. Hanrahan to run onto it. He goes by hand over the top, hit net. In space, just wants to go with a little shorty ball and does. Now the kick inside 50 isn't the greatest, and it's going to be turned over. Opportunity again. Here's Anastasio. Almost caught up in the tackle, managed to get it away. Wolfenden's been prolific. Now they've got some space, and the kick goes up to a very vacant half-forward area, and it's going to be turned over again. Hawks away. Brand getting the job done across to Duray, who goes in short. O'Brien. Oh, kick almost intercepted. In fact, it was. Nice ball there from O'Sullivan, senior that time. It still ends up with the player who's going to take it, Hanrahan. He's ridden into the turf, going nowhere into attack for Box Hill, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 19 plays 18. We're about to cross the 10-minute mark of this opening quarter, and what a great crowd it is at Port Melbourne today as well.
I hope no one got caught with the first shout on the first siren, Pete. Would have missed 6 goals before they got back. Little one coming Port Melbourne's way from the stoppage. Jyth might have got his man in the back, allowed to go on as Wolfenden puts his head over it. Campbell out the back to Rivet, that works okay. He's going to come away on his right foot. Can he find Pearson? No. Glass gets in the way, takes it on the second bite. And he's got it at centre wing, grandstand side of Port Melbourne. He goes down the line, that's okay. And there's a rare bit of space here for Lewis, who has it on the half-forward flank. Right near the entry here at Port Melbourne. He's going to go with a kick that's just got the man on the mark, clipped him on the way through, and as a result, the ball didn't go anywhere meaningful. It heads inside the 50 nonetheless. The Hawks have gained 45 metres and they'll toss it in.
So just repeating, 24 plays 0. Early stages, Casey over Geelong in the other game.
Turned things on early there, as both sides have done here. Arnott comes away from the back pocket. He's hooked it around the body. Asked a bit there, but couldn't get a result down the line. Here's Lewis to Jyth, who might have been taken high. No, allowed to go on. O'Brien's going to get caught by Glass. Oh, he's too quick for that. He's not the man to take on.
Deliberate out of bounds.
After all that, he's been done for deliberate. Oh, there's a few Port Melbourne supporters not happy with that. Oh, it bounced. Hams thought he got it on the full. The umpire was onto it. Turnover's on. Lyle inside the 50. He's not going to come up with a possession. The Hawks have got it. Not paid again. Oh, the crowd are right into this one. 19 to 18. 12 gone opening term. Everyone's angry. It must be September.
Well, that was a square up, Hilly. That deliberate out of bounds.
Had to have been.
Yeah. Ball to the back as they try and work it out. Lyle off to Lang. He's can straighten up. His shot's going across the face. It's going to be a mark, actually, on the line to Will Hams. Last line of defence for Port Melbourne. Tells them all to go to our usual commentary box side. Instead decides to go short to Duray. Duray looking to exit the 50 here. Long kick. They fly. More in there. Whistle. We'll throw it in. Dylan Conway back in the Port Melbourne lineup after serving his suspension. And he's going to be needed today. Hilly talked early on about the experience that's been lost from the premiership side from last year. As the ball's tossed back in. Lewis doing the ruck work with Waddell. Ball to ground, Rivet coming through for Port Melbourne. His kick around the body. Just to the left there, Hams. A couple of players holding each other. No call from the umpire, called the 50-50. The kick is shot, the kick is okay. Box Hill look to set again.
Maloney for the Hawks, the 23rd man's find Lovell, and fancy he may have just been enjoying the rain coming down. He goes down the line. It's a beautiful kick to Andrew Morton, who takes it on the burst. He's got the footy at half forward. He's going to kick a long ball, hoping for Jones to go back, but it beats that contest. Out the back, Dylan Moore beaten to the footy, attacked forward by Ross. A contest in the pocket. Mercedes went to go off the ground, but kicked it straight out of bounds on the full. And he got a mouthful from Brolick for his work. And Dylan Moore's going to come up with the footy for the Hawks. It's gone out on the full, so he's right on the boundary line. He's about 30 around from the point post, underneath the old time clock here. He's going round the body and he's hooked it a little far, one behind. 3-2, 20 the Hawks. Port Melbourne 3 straight, 18. 14 gone in the opening term.
12 minutes gone down at Casey. 4 straight, 24 Geelong, 1 behind. As we wait here for this ball to come out, umpire says get on with it. So the kick going towards the Norm Goss stand side, but it's picked out the Box Hill player and Willsmore who takes the mark. On 50, oh, the kick's brilliant. Yeah, it just opened up the space there magnificently. And the shot at goal, I think it's Jackson Ross who's going to take it. It is. And he will line up. The man on the mark's about 25 metres out. It's plenty of goal face to look at here. And Jackson Ross, out of his 14 games heading into today's, kicked 12 goals. We're looking to add another one to the total here. Box Hill leading by 2. As he comes in now. The kick on the way. He's good. Yep, drifted late, but it was good enough. Ross with his first of the afternoon. As they continue to move things along. 4-2, 26 plays, 3 straight, 18, 15 gone. Opening quarter, the Love the Game final series on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Don't forget tonight, it will be Richmond, it will be Williamstown, and then tomorrow we've got Collingwood and Essendon. Big weekend of footy, but you wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Maybe Flushing Meadows, but anywhere else apart from that.
As you mentioned, Flushing Meadows, Jackson Ross was a talented tennis player as a junior. Footy's managed to pluck him, and he's playing some good footy as Waddell gets it out of the middle, goes inside the 50. He's at a mark, not paid. They'll play on. O'Sullivan Jr. knocked it out towards Lyle. He's trying to get the handball away. Can he find length towards the line? Did Hams have a hold of him? Port Melbourne fans said yes. Triumph takes it to the line. It's over, and they'll toss it back in.
It was a clear hold. That's when it goes back the other way, Hilly. Talk about the Tiggy Touchwood ones. You've called it early and then not call that one.
Yeah, it's just a little inconsistent start for the umpires.
Toss back in, Pitnet and Lyle go to work. It comes down to Cousins. He's underneath the feet and gets it going round the corner. Beats one or two, and Lovell gets on the end of it. He kicks it inside the 50. Now there's a foot race on the outer flank. Port Melbourne have the lead early. Mercedes first there. He picks it up cleanly. He's a clean player, isn't he? Around the corner he goes. Beautiful stuff. And he finds King, who's got it at half back for the Borough. The young man's going to go long down the line. Big fly here, 2-on-1 for the Hawks, knocked down at ground level. It's all Box Hill. Cousins gets it inside the 50, going back with the flight. Jones couldn't take it. O'Sullivan has to go to work. He's strong in the contest, got it away, well played. Anastasio on the end of this. He needs Van Noonen to be in the right spot. He's going to keep running. He got it from Tynan, did Dylan. A little handball inboard. Okay, Arnott under all sorts of pressure. Hawks pressure immense here. They go to work at ground level and come up with the footy. Cousins got it away to Whitecross. He steers it down the line, but it's chopped off Van Noonen off hands, and they'll toss it in at half forward for Box Hill.
There's a bit of defensive pressure, Hilly.
That's what we like to see in these tight finals.
Yeah, it's things starting to close up now. 26 plays, 18, 17 gone, opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live, the first of 3 games across the weekend. Ball tossed back in. And a bit of holding going on. It's going to be a free kick. It's going the way of Box Hill. Pitnet knew exactly what he was doing there. He had the right position. Too far out to score, but he's just going to put the ball in nice and high. The ball falls to the back. Opportunity for Brolnik. No, he can't bring it back enough, and it's through for a behind. 4-3, 27 plays 3 straight, 18. We've gone 17 and a half minutes on the time clock. It's good we're over this side, Leedsy, because the old-fashioned one hasn't been able to get to the starting blocks today.
Yes, seen a few Septembers, that clock. Long ball down the line here from Mercedes, coming over the back. Big punt from Brand. He's set upon by Pearson, who wants holding the footy. He's not going to get it.
It's just a little gloomy on the outer side. Wouldn't be surprised if they go for the lights early today.
Yeah, it's got that feel about it. Now there's a sore player there. Is that Hams? Or he looks in real trouble. The trainer's called for someone to come on and get him straight away.
And it looks like it might be an ankle injury.
Yeah, and he is tough. So if he's not up, there's a real problem. We've seen him time and time again throughout his playing career be able to fight his way through pain, but he looks in a bit of trouble here.
18 minutes gone at Casey Fields in the opening quarter. Casey 5 straight 30, Geelong 3 behinds.
The doctor's out to him, and he's going to get up and get carried off. He can't put any weight on his right foot, so maybe right ankle.
Cannot confirm nor deny there's a breeze down there at Casey Fields, but the smart money would be on there is.
I'd like to know the temperature gauge reading just at the moment out at Casey Fields as well.
No, you don't want to know that. You do not.
Well, let's hope that this isn't too bad for Will Hams. We want him to see that young man be able to get a clean run at it in September. Ball He's tossed back in. Hooper got the handball out the back. Templeton around the corner. Going to be chopped off by Wilsmore, who has it at centre wing. He goes on that long left peg. Hanrahan the target, but it's over his head. And Masiti comes in and takes the chest mark. He's going to play on. He wanted to go across the ground, but there was nothing there, so he has to realign and go down the ground, and as a result, Wilsmore's there. These two need to realise there's some more players on the ground. Jyth has it across half back. He's on his defensive 50. Geray's come on here right in front of us, so they've got a man on if they can get it to him, but it's too far. O'Sullivan got in the way here. That was Senior, and he affected the flight of the ball. He got it down to Pearson. Jyth slides in. Well played. Stopped the footy and needed to. Kilpatrick comes up with it. Little handball from Cousins to Jyth. Got it going to half forward over the head of Jones. Big Pitneck came out, but Haratuku kept his eye on it. Well played. Van Unen's got it. He gives it across to Masiti, who goes further afield to Junior O'Sullivan. Down the line for Tom, but this time he's chopped it off as Connor Glass.
Glass has. He squares up into the middle of the ground and he finds Miles. Miles running across to the Norm Gostan side to find Geray, still in the centre square, the back of the square, and they've switched. And it's been successful. Brolik's there to take the mark. The kick goes short. Just trying to find some room is Moore. This is Dylan Moore who's taken it. Centre wing on the grandstand side. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Or has he? It's right near the line. The umpire said we're going to throw it in. It pitched inside. Anthony Anastasio reckons it was out of bounds on the full. What say you, Hilly? You had a better view of it than us.
Yeah, I thought it might have just cleared the line there. I thought that might have been out in the full.
All right, well, the end result is a throw-in. Half forward here for Box Hill. Aratuku doing the ruck work. River coming through. Whistle. Umpire says free kick going the way of the Borough. It is going to have to come back, though. They were off. Well, that's disappointing if you're a Borough fan.
That's why we have the advantage rule.
So it's
why it was called back there.
Senior O'Sullivan works it across to Matthew King, the 23rd player. Works it in the middle of the ground. Oh, it's going to be cut off again. Glass with the double fister. Works it across. Going to get the footy back again. Good effort from Glass. He puts the ball in short. And that's really well set up. Dylan Moore takes the mark. And will line up and have a shot. And he'll be... Well, the man on the mark's about 40 out. He's got plenty of goal face to look at here. And Box Hill, after that initial flurry of goals, have steadied the better. 21, almost 22 minutes into this opening term. So he comes in now. Moore with the kick on the way. No, it's going to go left. One behind. 4-4-28, plays 3 straight 18. 22 minutes gone in this opening quarter of football. The Love the Game final series on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Tonight we are live audio on 1116 SEN with Richmond and Williamstown. Hilly?
Since the 10-minute mark, it's really been Box Hill controlling this contest. They just haven't been able to get the score on the board, luckily for Port Melbourne. But certainly in the last probably 11 or 12 minutes, Box Hill have had a lot more footy and been a lot cleaner.
Yeah, spot on. Here's Jyth knocking it back in. Walker under all sorts of pressure. Well played, Arnott. Just got his handball chopped off by Maury. Got it going forward. Lloyd's there. Well played. Got it away to Templeton. He bombs for space to the outer side, but Miles has the wing to himself. And he takes the mark. And a little kick is going to be a little dodgy. O'Rourke had to go to work. Got it to Geray under all sorts of pressure. Lyle got in the way. Got it away to Anastasio, who thought about a pass. And then he kicks a long ball. 2-on-1 inside the 50. Suits the Hawks. Pearson the one for Port Melbourne. Brand one of the two. Needs to get rid of it. Did just in the nick of time. Pearson knocked it towards the ground. And he's happy to see it over. He'll toss it back in.
That might have been out of bounds at the full too.
Look that way, Pete.
Hey, just quickly, Hilly, Will Hams, did he go into the rooms?
He has gone into the rooms, and I'd say that he would be highly unlikely to come back today.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that, particularly at quarter time as ball spills free. Now an opportunity, O'Brien for Port Melbourne, laying his kick to the top of the goal square. Glass is there. He's under all sorts of pressure. Junior O'Sullivan coming through. He's found some space to Lyle, who tries to drag the ball back around the body. In fact, put it out of bounds on the full. 28 plays 18. Heading towards quarter time. 23 minutes gone. It is O'Brien to bring the ball back in. Last line of defence, the back pocket. His kick's dangerous. Lane could almost run onto this. This might come off for the Hawks, though. They've got some players in space. And now a high one, out of bounds on the full, it looks like. It is unfortunate there. Really unfortunate for Jono O'Rourke to cough up the footy. Ball brought back in, and it's Templeton, Eli Templeton, who's got the ball. Up the line. Oh, he turned it over. Coming through, Jones takes the mark. It was too short for the igniter. Anastasio, kick across the ground, finds Cousins. Cousins goes potentially dangerously, but it's a short ball. It's a good one. Willsmore got plenty of it. It's across to a running Cousins. High ball. It's drifting across the face. This could be a mark. It is. It is a mark to Brolick. The ball just drifted across the face of goal. Brolick had best position, and he takes the mark. He is on a tight angle, but he'll only be 15 metres out.
Had better position the whole way as it came in, didn't he?
I think it was deliberate kick to advantage too. It wasn't a flying shot at goal from deep. I think it was certainly kicked to his advantage there.
Well, that's his first. He joins the party. All single goal kickers along the way too. 5-4-34 plays 3 straight 18 as we tick towards quarter time in a really intriguing encounter here at Stannard Stadium, Northport Oval. It's the Love the Game final series on Peter Jackson VFL Live. 18 minutes in the opening quarter, 5 straight 30 leads 3 behinds. Casey over Geelong, with Tim House being helped off the ground heading into the rooms for the Cats.
We've got our own injury concerns here with Hams off the ground as Cousins wins it again in the middle. He's having a field day in this opening term. Comes to half forward for the Hawks. Ross spun around in the tackle. Well played Walker. Made it to Bill to Wolfenden. Has to get away from a couple of tacklers and does. To Lang. Little one over the top. He's got some run. Here comes wider to Wolfenden. Little one Pearson under all sorts of pressure. And Duray got him. He got him fairly, but he got him squarely. Handball over the top. Haratuku's got a chance. Giles closes him down. He steers it into the path of Rivet, who takes the mark. Oh, no questioning Pearson, and Arnott gets to him on the bench. He had to stand and wait, and he did.
How is he, Hilly? He's right near you.
He certainly saw. He's taken a huge hit to the midriff there, and I would have thought that was automatic free kick in my eyes. Player's mid-air and is taken out like that. It's highly dangerous.
It's early, but it feels like the Borough need this one. Rivet kicks, and he goes. And Pearson can rest sore in the knowledge that it ended up being a goal. They keep themselves in touch. Magnificent finish from Mac Rivets, 24-34, 10 points the margin. The Hawks in front at the 28-minute mark of this opening term.
This has been one of the best quarters of football for the season. It's one that we've seen live anyway.
It's been huge, absolutely
Incredible.
huge. We've had it all.
Oh dear. So, 34 plays 24. Comfortable lead to Casey, down at Casey Fields. We've got another score for you in a moment, but Moore just shot the handball out for Box Hill from the contest. A long kick here for Cousins. Goes into the pocket, but it's been turned over. And the Borough should be able to steady here. Here's the 23rd player, King, working from one side of the ground to the other. They should be able to get away here, you would think, in the back pocket. You think just one more for Ports, just to keep touch. Box Hill with the edge in this opening quarter. The long kick, the fists come in. Tynan to come onto it. Luke Tynan, that is. And now in all sorts of trouble is Junior O'Sullivan there. He was 360. And the umpire said, well, he released the footy. So he's going to get a free kick for being held. Willsmore goes, well, I thought he still had the footy. He goes backwards. He goes short. Conway, back from suspension. Goes from one side of the ground to the other. And they got numbers. This is the lockdown effect here from the Hawks. See who's settled the better. Cook. Going back across. Conway again. His kick finds Lang. Had to reach for it, but he got it. Now he's got some run. Rivet on the outer side. Centre wing can go for a run. Runs his absolute full measure and goes with a high ball, but he's going to put it out of bounds on the full. And it will be a free kick. Kate Brand to take it for Box Hill. This crowd, the grandstand, is packed here at Stannard Stadium, Northport Oval this afternoon. 28 minutes gone in this opening quarter. It's a 10-point lead to Box Hill.
Brand with the long ball to the outer side. Jones underneath it, has it fisted away. Lang's in it again. Geez, had a good opening term. Rivet starting to work his way into it too. Left foot kick, bit of a tumbler as he was tackled as he got rid of it. Andrew Moore picks it up, got it away to Cousins under all sorts of pressure. Maloney spun himself out of it nicely. He found Willsmore to Geray, and then Lovell takes it on the wing. He's going to bomb quickly. Jones has got to go back with the flight. Lloyd came over the top, and yeah, he was just a little boisterous, wasn't he? Against the bigger man. got into his back. So Jones with a longer ball inside the 50, closing stages, and that's a big mark for Cook, who takes it at fullback for Port Melbourne.
Gary Ayres making his way to the bench. Interesting coaching from the box today, Hilly.
Yeah, he's sometimes down on the bench, sometimes in the box. Just day by day he changes up.
And that is quarter time. What an entertaining quarter of football we've had here on Peter Jackson VFL Live today. As we see Will Hams in front of us. He's back from the room and he's walking out to the huddles. But it is quarter time here. It is 5-4-34 Box Hill. Port Melbourne 4 straight 24. And it is all single goal kickers as we look down the sheet. Brolick, Jones, Ross, Lewis and Whitecross. And for Port Melbourne, Rivet, O'Sullivan, Lang and the igniter Anthony Anastasio with one of the best dribblers that you will ever see. Crowd make its way down from the grandstand onto the ground. That's the good part about this Peter Jackson VFL. You can make your way out and hear what the coaches have to say. That's exactly what Hilly's doing as well. We'll give you a score update actually while we've got the opportunity. See if I can get you a score update from down there at Casey Fields. 28 minutes gone. Casey 6-2-38 leading Geelong 4 behinds. So very, very handy lead to Casey down there in that opening term. We'll take a break. Back on the other side with the second quarter and also the news from the huddles as well. Wherever you're watching us through VFL.com.au, we hope you're enjoying the action. This is Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Your Peter Jackson VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
It's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it, doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm at Digital Radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer.
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au.
And upgrade to digital.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wickup first. Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Where it is quarter time at Northport at Stannard Stadium here in Port Melbourne. 5-4-34 Box Hill got the lead over Port Melbourne. 4 straight 24 at a start to this one. And we know we've well and truly hit finals football. Update quarter time at Casey Fields, and it's a lead here to the Casey Demons. They are dominating early stages. Quarter time, 6-3-39. Playing Geelong 4 behinds, but we suspect probably there's a breeze favouring one end of the ground down there at Casey Fields this afternoon. A little bit later on tonight, 7 o'clock, 7:10 bounce will be Richmond and Williamstown. We're looking forward to covering that one as well. And then tomorrow we'll be back here for Collingwood and Essendon as the two huddles. It is a magnificent crowd here at Port Melbourne. If you're in and around Melbourne or heading to Melbourne over the next couple of weeks, get down here because it is a wonderful atmosphere. Make sure you buy your tickets via vfl.com.au. Buy them in advance because there's only limited selection. They do sell out from time to time. But as you can hear the Borough huddle just breaking up. I think Hilly's down there.
We know where Hilly is.
Yeah. He'll be talking with Max Bailey at 3/4 time. But feel free to jump in whenever you get Gary Ayres. Hilly's still talking to a couple of the players around there.
We've got a lot of people to get off the ground too before we'll be able to get this quarter underway. It's such a great crowd in today, so we'll just have Gary in just a moment. He's just giving a couple of final directions before his team gets back out there for the second quarter.
Prompt as possible in moving off the field of play to get the second quarter underway.
Just getting the magnets sorted out. Jump on in. Go, Hilly.
Thanks, Gary. It was a really hot start from both teams. Your team in particular in the first 5 or so minutes, then dropped away a little bit and was strong again in the last part of the quarter.
Yeah, we lost our way a little bit with uncontested marks and we turned the ball over and we probably got a little bit too safe with the ball movement. But yeah, we did. I think we got a little bit of momentum just back in that last probably 4 or 5 minutes, but 30 uncontested marks is too many.
An area also to attend to going forward is just lifting that head when you're looking forward going inside 50.
Yeah, and we've got to be bold and we've got to be brave, and they like to actually use the whole ground. And with these greasy conditions, if we can slow it down and hopefully give ourselves a chance, then we can actually locate that source, which is that 45 angle kick, and then we can close that down. Hopefully we'll be better.
Beautiful. Thanks, Gary, for your time.
Beautifully done. Hilly, we'll catch up with Max Bailey of the Box Hill Hawks out of the 3/4 time huddle. But yeah, it's a 10-point lead to Box Hill, 5-4-34. Port Melbourne, 4 straight 24 as is he one of the last to make his way back into the coach's box. And
how good is that, Pete? Not only does he join us, but he gives us a little masterclass as a coaching perspective in what to look out for in this second quarter as well.
So, what's the Hilly? There's still no breeze. We've had a little shower just make its way over the ground, but still.
No, look, there's no breeze. If you could feel anything when you're standing on the ground, it may favour slightly to the right of screen, but realistically, there's no breeze.
Here they come again. Howes on the ground. Didn't see much from him in the first term. Anastasio goes inside the 50 straight away. There's not going to be a mark. One for the ground level players. Giles there first. Can't come up with the footy. O'Brien did. He was well tackled though. Ball locked in. And they'll toss it up. I wonder if Howe has just been managed for time there, Hilly, coming back.
Yeah, I would say so. Just on the comeback trail, he wouldn't be playing a full game today.
5-week suspension is coming off. As Lovell at ground level, can't take it away cleanly. Howe's in over the top of this one. Might have gone below the knees there. Allowed to go on. Anastasio, little chance. His kick was smothered. Away comes Lovell. He goes to the outer side, but Mercedes going to get in the way. He can slow down, settle, pull the trigger on the left foot. It's across the face. Won't be a mark. Brand had a chance to hack it off the ground. Couldn't quite. Dixon a chance. Here's Lyle deep in the pocket. He's set upon by a couple of Hawks. Little kick no good. Tom O'Sullivan Senior comes through. Little handball comes out. A chance for Waddell around the corner. A chance for Lovell. Gee, it's tough to get a handle on the footy at the moment. Jarray around the body. That's Tynan who couldn't take it. Ditto Whitecross. It's towards the line. They finish over. Everyone exhausted despite the fact that we've only gone a minute into this second term. 34-24, 10 points the margin, the Hawks in front.
Well, since the 10-minute mark of the opening quarter, it's been Box Hill's defence really stood up. The pressure has just been enormous. That's why they lead as the ball's thrown back in. Sullivan just lost handling it. Pittner just trying to push it through. Tynan just can't get a clean handle on it. Or player taken without it there for Box Hill. Still an opportunity though. There's Lovell. He's been in everything in this game so far. He's kicked to centre wing. It's going to be cut off King. Well, he's turned the footy over. Turnover for turnover. We go, working there, Arnott. Now Tynan. This is Luke Tynan, who kicks inside 50 and turns it over. Glass there again. Takes the mark at centre half back. He goes to the outer side this time. They're going to try that way, the Hawks. See if they can get something going. Miles kicks up towards centre wing and finds Hanrahan, who's got a little bit of space on that outer side.
There's that 45 kick that Gary Ayres was talking about, and another one from Junior Ray to Willsmore through the middle. Here comes Miles. He bolts away to 55 and steers it inside the 50. It's knocked away from Ross, but he butters up nicely at ground level. Handball back inboard. Can they make the most of it? Lewis back. Here's how. Won't go anywhere on that right boot. Long into the pocket. Probably can't take it. Rivet gets it away to Mercedes. Little short ball. He's asking a lot of his fellow defenders here. Came to Lewis. Good tackle. Tynan holding the footy. Port Melbourne have it back pocket.
Oh, it was nicely done. Tynan just to work the ball back. Now, where will the switch come? They've got some space on our broadcast side here in the grandstand. Cook takes it. Last line of defence, his kick got to be precise. It isn't. Nice work there from Willsmore just to push the ball to the boundary line. Dallas Willsmore's been fantastic in that opening quarter as well.
Certainly some high contact on Dallas Willsmore in that contest. The umpire just missed that one as well. Just might have had a player impeding his vision.
Ball tossed back in, right in front of us where we're broadcasting today. And never the ball down. Whistle. Where is that whistle coming from? It's the trailing umpire. And who's it going to? It's going to go to Port Melbourne. Okay. As Hooper takes it. Point of the square, defensive side. Running on the ground is King, the 23rd player. He takes the mark. And again, Box Hill just corralling the Borough. There's not a lot up ahead, so the kick has to go in the middle of the ground. It's risky, but it's okay. It's Dylan Conway who has to go further afield to Masiti on the logo on that outer side. He's coughed it up. Well done, Brolick. He got the handball across. Willsmore again. They work the overlap nicely. Little dribbling ball from Lewis puts it in short. They've just relieved the pressure again. Boy, they did that well, the Hawks. As Rourke kicks a high ball up towards half forward. 2-on-1 in favour of the Borough. It beats everyone in the end. It's bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Where the paint of the 50 meets the boundary line and goes over there. We'll have it thrown in into attack for Box Hill. 34 plays 24. And we've played almost 4.5 minutes in this second quarter. Here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
So the Hawks attacking underneath the scoreboard. Haratuku back position in the ruck. Pitnet front. Couldn't find a teammate. Comes up to Howe. He goes back to Pitnet. Steers a low ball into the path of Willsmore, but the boundary line ever present. And they'll toss it back in. 10 points the margin still. The Hawks have gained another 15 metres around the boundary line.
2 minutes into the second quarter down at Casey Fields. Casey 7-3-45, Geelong 4 behinds.
So they're a chance to get going again here. Box Hill. Can they score from inside their 50? Pitnet knocks it down. Here's Mercedes, taken off it by Willsmore. Allowed to go on. Howe won it at ground level, but his handball was affected by a hand. Came to Lang, kicks a long ball at the back. Oh, gee, good fly there from Waddell, but it didn't come up with a footy. It's knocked over the line, and they'll toss it back in. Just about at centre wing, slightly defensive side of for Port Melbourne, but Ham's interestingly walking round. He's got that right calf taped, Hilly, but
yeah, he's moving not too badly, actually. I've just been watching him the last minute or so, and I think there might be a sign he might be coming back on.
I believe House is in some injury trouble for the Cats down at Casey.
He's back out on the ground there. So.
Here's Hooper, who steers it to half forward, and Miles is in the way for the Hawks.
Centre half back.
Just that delivery going inside 50 for Port Melbourne, just letting themselves down at the moment. Gary talked about it as we were coming off the ground at quarter time. It just hasn't improved this quarter.
O'Brien at defensive 50. Just got a little short one from Miles. It was just the 15, but still not sure which way to go. So has to go to that outer side. Again, 2-on-1. Big fly there from Lewis. Couldn't quite bring it to ground. And the Borough have the numbers. As the kick goes up towards half forward, O'Brien takes the mark. Way too far out to score, so he just kicks inside the 50. High ball Waddell, but it falls to the back. Pearson. Oh, he's got his man beat cold. He goes off the ground. It goes across the face, and it's been a defensive mark. Nice work again from the Hawks, just to slow things down. Just holding tough. Brands will go long. Looking for Willsmore. Tynan there. Tynan over the back. Might have dragged Willsmore down. He did. There's a free kick. That one's pretty clear. Umpire in good position.
Certainly was.
He chopped the arms, and Willsmore couldn't get anywhere near it, so Dallas kicks up the line. He's looking for Jones. Had some pressure coming from behind, working. Over the top there. How? That was crude. He got straight into the back. And a bit of push and shove too. And it's Tom O'Sullivan who's very slow to get to his feet, but he will take the free kick on centre wing. He goes backwards and across the ground. Finds Cook. Sort of quarterback role to King. On that outer side, they've switched now, the Borough. Working up towards half forward. O'Brien comes in and takes the mark. Excellent work from the Hawks again. O'Brien and the defence standing up.
Oh, a little kick to Miles. Might turn it over, but he's got some support in Willsmore. Needs to get rid of it by hand and does. Lovell, down the line he goes, looking for Dylan Moore, but it's out of bounds on the full. Just starting to see a few errors. It is wet. That first term was really not indicative of the conditions.
We've just got a little bit of light rain coming down at the moment, Leedsy, and that's probably just affecting the ball a little bit more than what it was in the first quarter.
No score yet in this second quarter.
Lloyd, dangerous kick through the middle. Andrew Moore takes the mark over the top of Hooper. Plays on quickly. Hawks have numbers inside the 50 and the mark is taken by Dylan Moore. He'll kick from 40 and a couple. 45-degree angle. Scoreboard pocket of the ground. They lead by 10 points. It's hardly been the rollicking opening 8 minutes that we had in the opening term, but that was quite unusual. Dylan Moore's kick is away to the right, and it's going to be one behind. He's got 3 behind so far, Dylan Moore, so he's getting the footy in his hands. 11 points the margin.
Speaking of Dylan Conway to bring the ball back in for Port Melbourne. Going to go the grandstand side. It's a long, high ball. Lyle's got the sit. Punch from behind was good. Rivet picks it up at defensive 50. His kick really indiscriminate in the end. And coming in again, Tim O'Brien takes the mark. Centre wing right next to the centre square here at Stannard Stadium, North Port Oval. The kick going long, deep inside the 50. No mark, chance at the back. Just thrown on the boot by Ross. It's a high ball. It's going across the face though. And it bounces through for one behind. 5-6-36 plays 4 straight 24. In this second quarter, we have played 9 minutes here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. The Love the Game final series will be at Punt Road, the Swinburne Centre for Richmond and Williamstown later on tonight. 11 scoring shots to 4 here, but the Hawks not making the most of it. Coming through O'Brien, really strong stuff. Put his head over it. Ball spilt free to Cousins, to Howe inside the 50. Well marked by Tynan, low to the ground. He's got some options on this commentary side of the ground. He's got Mercedes short. He's going to go longer than that. Haratuku or Lang first touch. Did well Pitnet, knocked it down. Kilpatrick inside the 50. Chance for Dylan Moore. Did it stay in? No. They'll toss it back in. So 36-24 at the 10-minute mark of the second term. Ball spending a bit of time inside Box Hill's forward 50. Maloney comes on for Pitnet. So it'll be Lewis doing the ruck work. Couldn't find a teammate. Good stuff, Maloney. Pressure on Lang. Still working with his head over it. Maloney goes to work again. He gets some support. And we're going to have an action replay. Ball to be tossed up. The coaches' boxes are so close to this contest. I reckon they'll be able to lean out the window, both coaches, and be able to hear what they're saying, the players.
Here's Willsmore from the stoppage. Quick snap on goal is across the face. Another behind. 5-7-4 straight. 11 gone, second term.
He's having a big impact on this contest, is Dallas Willsmore. He's been in everything, in the air, on the ground. He's certainly stamping his mark on this game.
Mercedes kicks to himself and then goes long outside the 50. Need the Flyers. There was a pack of 3. It falls to ground. Now an opportunity again for the Hawks as Cousins drops it towards the top of the goal square. Oh, a bit of pressure on Mercedes over around the footy. Here's an opportunity. Oh, they made a meal of it here. The Hawks in the goal square, but it might be backheeled. It was backheeled for a goal. And it's that man, Whitecross, who's kicked it. Went backheel style after they made a mess of it in the goal square. That was nicely done. Willsmore. Whitecross gets his second. And that's a 6 for the Hawks. 6-7-43 to 4 straight 24. 11.5 gone in that second quarter.
That's one for the highlight reel, Pete. Sensational goal.
That was Matthew Lloyd-esque. I think he did one in the goal square number of years ago at the MCG. But just good presence of mind, though, because the ball was in dispute, the top of the goal square. He just had enough space, knew that nothing was behind him and went for it.
Smart football.
Incredible football.
Hawks coming again out of the middle. Hanrahan goes again and again and again. Lovell just bends down and picks it up very cleanly. Hooper got in the way though. Kilpatrick fumbled it forward. Chance for Maloney. His handball chopped off by Van Oonen. Spikes it forward, but Lovell's there. Lost the handle on it. Spun around Lloyd. Did well to get a kick going to the wing. Now Lyle is going to be happy to see this over. And the last 6 or 7 minutes has been filled with Box Hill dominance. 43-24 at the 12.5 minute mark of the second term.
7 minutes gone at Casey Fields. Casey 7-3-45, Geelong 2-5-17.
Bit of feeling between Arnott and Moore. It's fisted towards the line. It's still going. Arnott and Moore don't mind this. They'll be happy to do that all day. And they're going to go and lock horns again. I'm not sure either has cause for complaint to the umpire. He might just say, I'll lock you both outside, you can sort it out between yourselves. Lewis goes to work on Waddell here. It's out the back, dangerous spot for the Hawks. It's going to be a free kick to Box Hill. And it's going to go to Lewis. So he can get them going from half back.
Yep, we're just waiting for the footy to come back to him. He didn't pick it up cleanly. He'll pick it up now. Mitchell Lewis. Played the 15 games in the home and away season. His kick. Going up the line, front position there was Jones, it fell to the back, working there, Lovell puts the ball in short, just lowered the eyes beautifully, and Jackson Ross will have the shot at goal. He'll be kicking from just inside the 50, the umpire taking him around slightly more than the 45, but shouldn't have any trouble here with no breeze to get the trip. Been all Box Hill in this second quarter, just the 1 goal for their efforts, 1 goal 3. Jackson Ross today kicked a goal in the opening quarter. This one's dragging back nicely for a goal. That's his second. Box Hill, plenty of breathing space now and just starting to put the foot down. It's a team playing with the confidence. They know they can match it with the best in this competition. 7-7-49 plays 4 straight 24. 14 gone in the second quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. The Love the Game final series.
At the moment, Pete, Box Hill are just moving the ball better inside 50. Port Melbourne getting plenty of football, but every time they go forward, they're just not lowering their eyes and picking a target out. It's more of a floating kick in, and Box Hill are just lowering their eyes and hitting targets.
Here they are out of the middle. It's Sullivan, that's senior. Got it away inside the 50. Walker tried to take the mark in the defensive 50 but couldn't. It's going towards the line. Is this going to be deliberate? No. Anastasia worked Ray off it. Shires came in to lay a tackle, but it was over. And they'll toss it back in. Rubber band starting to stretch. The Borough needing one in the second term as we just enter the second half of this second stanza. Anastasio, a dangerous man in this circumstance. We're inside the 50. As Lyle goes to work, Pitnet wins the tap, looking for Howe, who came through well. Little scrubby kick, got it out of trouble, it was effective. King's got to go and win his own ball, and he does. He's well tackled, there's plenty of pressure around the footy. It's over the line, and they'll toss it back in. So plenty of players around this contest, but a nice stretch across the ground as well. So there's options wherever you look, and Arnott's decided he's going to keep pushing the envelope here. He's playing with some fire in the belly, and he's going to go to work on Hanrahan. He toe pokes it forward, gets it towards the line. Howe, under pressure, just got a toe on it. O'Sullivan Senior, tackled by Hanrahan. Was he tackled in the back?
Oh, holding the ball.
Holding the footy. Whoa. He was right near the line. Perhaps the umpire wasn't convinced that he was trying to get rid of it. Hanrahan's got the footy. He's going to go down the line, Pitnet the target. Oh, he protected Howe nicely, but he couldn't quite bring it to ground. Was that a free kick for holding the man? No. King had it and lost it. He had his head taken off. Umpire saw that one. Port Melbourne fans say, about time, umpire!
You can tell we're playing at Port Melbourne, don't you? Can't you? So King to take the free kick on centre wing. Passionate, the Borough fans. So the Box Hill supporters. His kick just off the side of the boot. Basically, there was a couple of Hawks players down there that just could have raffled it off between them. And the kick's going to come back in. Long ball over the back. Taken Pitnet as the ball up the line. That's a solid mark. Ross, oh no, he dropped what he should have taken in the end. Conway to mop up across there, Van Unen. Almost his teammate into trouble. Hooper, he goes around the body. Oh, big fly from the back there from Aratuku. Anastasio and Junior O'Sullivan was taken in the back. Anastasio picks it up, manages to get the handball away, but again they're under pressure. Hands back out on the ground for Box Hill after that injury. Giant, oh, he's 360 in the tackle, he dropped it. Umpire says play on. Working there, O'Brien, still on centre wing, grandstand side. Cook just goes around the body up towards half forward. It falls for Anastasio. He closes to 55. He goes with a low ball. It's bouncing. It's going to get to the goal square, but Brand is there to mop up for Box Hill. His kick outside defensive 50. He's got Brolick who's in space. Brolick will just go short. He finds Whitecross. And they've got overlap here too. As the kick is a good one. Kilpatrick found Jones, who turns around. Oh, it's dangerous. He got the handball off. No, holding the footy. Turnover to the Borough.
So can they get something going? Conway's got it. He goes to half forward. O'Brien's going to be there first. Not sure where that kick was intended. It was all the Hawks. O'Brien, little one. And he finds Hams, who just will not be beaten today. And he's back on the ground after looking in all sorts of trouble in that first term. He goes down the line. Jones couldn't take it with the one hand. Came to ground. There might have been high contact from Rivet. There was. It'll be a free kick to Dylan Moore, who's going to go with a short ball to the outer side level. Takes it at ground level. Very clean today. Kieran, he goes inside the 50. Maloney got into his man's back. Umpire said that's, going to be a push in the back. It'll be a Port Melbourne ball. So just need to get going here. Can they find a couple of targets? Wolfenden, a good man to have the footy in his hands. He's got it in the back pocket. He's got O'Brien down the line, and now it's going to be 50 against Howe, who...
Is that going over the mark?
Yeah, he crept the mark there, Pete. Just crept over just enough.
Back from that 5-week suspension. Can he get his hands on the footy, give himself a chance? This ball's going across the ground. Tynan has it with a bit of space at centre wing. Can he find a target at half forward? Good kick, good mark. Well taken by O'Sullivan Jr. And that was pretty strong and taking him to ground. That won't be 50 though. And Junior has the footy. 65 from home. Sees something he likes. He goes inside the 50. Good fist. Well done, Hams. Over the line, and they'll toss it back in. 15 around from the point post.
Just a really stagnant forward line, Port Melbourne at the moment. They just haven't got anybody on the lead or creating enough space on the fat side. So they need to work on their forward structure at the moment. It's just not working for them.
Ball tossed back in. Into attack here for Port Melbourne. Aratuku and Pitnet. Pitnet got the tap down, working his way through Brand, just throws it on the boot, it bounces outside the 50. Tynan leaving it for Cook, but in the end a couple of Box Hill players got involved as well, and the umpire will say, give it to me, as the contest built up around them. We'll get a score from Casey Fields in a moment, as we head to the 20-minute mark of this second quarter. 49 plays 24. Box Hill getting the job done as Lang. Handball over the top for Wolfenden. Handball to Anastasio was immediately wrapped up in the Durade tackle. He lost a handle on the footy and it goes over the line. We'll have it thrown in on that outer side of the grounds. So we wait for the boundary umpire to bring the ball back in. Locked down nicely here, the Hawks, in this second term. Really just peppering the scoreboard as the ball's tossed back in. Aratuku, Pitnet had front position, Rivet picked it up, he just hurls the ball inside the 50. Oh, almost a one-hander there from Walker, he couldn't take it. Anastasio might have been held up by, says no. O'Brien, he's just trying to paddle it in front of him, trying to work his way through Hooper. They're under all sorts of pressure here, the Borough, they just can't be allowed to get away. Glass laying the tackle, Brolick in there as well, he lost a touch on the footy. It's eventually kicked away, and now an opportunity again. There's the ball with Kilpatrick. He just kicks into open space here on centre wing. It's a one-on-one contest. A bit of a push in the back. Umpire said no. And brilliantly done, though, in the end from Cousins. He just throws it on the boot. Here's a foot race. It's Dylan Moore with proposition. He kicks a goal! All the way back to James Cousins for setting that one up. Dylan Moore, he does get his goal now, Leety. His first for the afternoon, and I tell you, Port Melbourne in trouble. Box Hill in control here at Stannard Stadium. 8-7-55, plays 4 straight 24, 21 and a half gone. The Borough haven't scored in this term, and for Box Hill, they've kicked 3 goals, 3.
Hilly, he was strong and brilliant and skillful and classy, all after he pushed his man straight in the back.
Yes, yeah, he got away with one, and geez, he made Port Melbourne pay, didn't he?
He looks a player though. Geez, got some poise. There's a free kick here, and it's going Box Hill's way, and things just starting to sway to the Hawks. Howe takes it at centre wing. They're away and running. Hams steers it into the path of Lewis. It's fisted away. Good stuff, Van Oonen. Ball to be won at half forward for the Hawks. O'Rourke lost it forward. O'Sullivan, little one, knocked away Lloyd. His kick smothered. Arnott picks up the ground ball. Got it away Haratuku. He got away from the tackle. That was strong stuff from Matty, but his kick, he's got to turn it over, and Miles is on the end of it. He goes inside the 50. Dixon goes back with the flight and takes a big mark. They needed it, and Guy has it back pocket.
Just holding out Whitecross there, the defence of Port Melbourne. The kick across the ground, O'Brien picks it up on the bounce. He's near the boundary line. He kicks outside the 50. The kick didn't find Lyle, and it's been turned over. O'Brien swooping onto it to Hams, off a step. A long ball heading towards the top of the goal square. They fly, and it goes over the line. We'll have it thrown in 10 metres around from the Box Hill goal. Get to a score from Casey Fields as well, but 7-3-45 Casey Geelong, 3-5-23, 14 gone second quarter there. Meanwhile here, deep into attack for the Hawks, it's tossed back in. Haratuku and Pitner to beat them all in the end. Who's going to pick it up? A little kick around the body. He's not effective. Hanrahan went without it. Here's Brolick though, working through the pack. His kick, he threw it on the boot, put it out of bounds on the full, across the face of goal. 55 plays 24.
Brolick is getting
23 minutes gone.
Plenty of football for Box Hill. He's just not finishing. I think he hasn't registered a goal yet, has he, Pete?
Brolick kicked one in the opening term.
I think he's kicked one, and he might have kicked two behinds and one out in the full. So it could have been anything today.
Ball at centre wing. Anastasio, little handball over the top. O'Sullivan just got a fist, and it was important because Giath was coming the other way. Pearson one-on-one with Duray. It's fisted forward. Lyle kept his feet. He can have a shot from 48. They need it. It's across the face. It's not going to register a goal. It's one behind. Their first blemish of the afternoon. 4-1-25 to 8-7-55. 24 gone.
Well, that was the pressure of the Hawks there, because the player who was on log came off his man. Just need to get it through, but there was enough pressure there. O'Brien, long ball outside the 50. Oh, big fly taken there from Dixon. He couldn't take the mark though, but there are plenty of Hawks at the fall of the ball as they work it across. Willsmore has to sort of 360. They slow it down, and it's okay because Hanrahan takes the mark. Edge of the square. A little chipping ball, dangerous, and it's been cut off, and Lang has taken it. Half back for Port Melbourne on that outer side. He's just throwing his hands up because he's short of options. Gee, they're just going short across. Oh, Mercedes. Oh, he fumbled the footy over the boundary line, and we'll have it thrown in. There's the pressure of the Box Hill Hawks.
Their pressure is king today. It's been really good this quarter. It's amped up from the first quarter. They're just all over Port Melbourne at the moment. It's pressure's bringing mistakes.
It hasn't led up to Aratuku front position. No one can get clear from the contest. Hanrahan to run onto it. He's near the boundary line. He goes over. Under pressure. 55 plays 25. 25 minutes gone in this second quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Our final video stream game for 2018, but will still be live 11:16 SEN tonight and tomorrow.
Here's Pitnet and Haratuku coming through. Wolfenden couldn't take it. Someone needs to be clean here. Lang picked up the ball, chopped off by Ross. Now it's knocked towards the line again. Hanrahan sees it over and they'll toss it in front of the social club here at Port Melbourne. 15 around from the point post. The Borough just hanging on for the minute. This young side under Gary Ayres' tuition, under all sorts of pressure. Little knock out the back for Howe. Found more. Andrew, high left foot. It's going close to the point line. Lewis gets a fist in on Lang and they take it over. Again, another chance for the Hawks. Defending the key here for the Borough as we close in on half time. It was a rollicking opening 10 minutes, so we had 3 goals apiece, but since then Box Hill have had the better of the contest. Knock boundary side, Lovell clean, picks it up. Templeton was clean in getting him and almost clean enough to knock him into the fence. He doesn't mind that, Lovell.
53 plays 23 out of Casey. Casey leading. Shayas kicking a goal out there for Casey.
Here's Haratuku knocking it down. Templeton couldn't take it. Lang ditto. Hands on the footy everywhere, but no one able to be clean until Hanrahan got a little one out. Here's Mercedes, bombs for safety, gets it over the initial contest. Now it's 2-on-1 for the Hawks. Miles, one of them. Oh, going to ground. O'Brien allowed his opposite man to come in, and then he laid a good bit of pressure there, Tim. And it's over the line. That was on Jake from Port Melbourne. All sorts of O'Briens going on the outer wing. And it's 30 points to margin. Box Hill in front, 27 gone, second term.
Yeah, a couple of O'Briens against one another. A couple of Moores in the Box Hill lineup. Oh, gee, Haratuku flew over the back, over the top of pit nets, and he came down flat on his back, but he's up. He's okay. So Sullivan, senior, picked it up. And we'll do it all again. On the logo, out on that outer side, it's been taken away there by Templeton. He's been quiet today, and his kick's out of bounds on the full. So Connor Glass to bring the ball back in for Box Hill. Half back. Is he going to take it, or is he going to give it to Miles? He's giving it to Miles. So Miles will trot back in to take it. He might conceivably kick it to O'Brien, actually, as he looks up the ground. And he does. So all's well that ends well for those two as we wait. And oh, he's trying to get around there, Conway. Slipped as he kicked. It might turn out to be okay, though. Oh, Giath just was second to the footy. It spills free. O'Brien for Port Melbourne trying to pick it up. Just clamouring on hands and knees. And now the pack arrives. The umpire waits for a second and will say, give it to me. So we tick down towards half-time. 55 plays 25. 28 minutes gone in the second term. It's been all Box Hill this quarter. They put the foot down as it's tossed back up. Pit nets, tapped down. Wolfenden picked it up, wrapped up in the tackle, going nowhere. We'll do it all again. It's just a lull in the game as it's tossed up in that spot for a third time. Haratuku getting the tap down. He has another go at it, tries to kick out of the pack. The kick is okay. As Sullivan Jr. kicks to the top of the 50. Working here is Lyle. Just got his man out of the way. Then is fumbling his way through on hands and knees. It spills free. Anastasio trying to paddle it in front of him as well. He can't pick it up. Now he does. Loses a handle on it. Arnott brustling his way through. Good tackling pressure here by the Hawks as they try and clear it. No one can get onto it for any period of time to get any sort of movement going. The umpire might call a stop to this, and that'd be fair enough too. Good contest there from both teams. The greasy ball, difficult to pick up.
Can't be a lot of time left in the quarter either, Pete. Only 3 goals kicked.
There's quick getting out of the pack. Pushed off his kick was Conway, and it's going out of bounds on the full. Remembering, Port Melbourne have only scored the one behind in this quarter. 3 goals, 3 for Box Hill.
I'd love to scrounge one late going into half-time. O'Brien going to kick a long ball looking for Pitnet and Lewis, but Haratuku had front position. Andrew Moore got it away through the hands of Lovell. A rare sight today. Lang got it up to Cook around the corner for the Borough. Conway's underneath it. It's fisted away, but it'll matter. Precious little. Box Hill with the better of the opening half. A scintillating opening quarter. Back to normality in the second. And the Hawks lead at 8-7-55 to Port Melbourne 4-1-25.
Let's go through the goal kickers to half-time here at Stannard Stadium. What a quarter it was for the Box Hill Hawks. A couple of multiples in their lineup. Jackson Ross and Brendan Rycross. A beautiful back heel in that second quarter. They got 2 goals each and singles to Brolick, Jones, Dylan Moore, Lewis, and for Port Melbourne, the singles that we saw in the opening quarter, Rivet, O'Sullivan, Lang and Anastasio. So it is a 30-point lead to the Box Hill Hawks. They led by 10 points at quarter time, and they are looking particularly good as they head into the main break. 8-7-55 to Port Melbourne, 4-1-25. Updates on the match going on at Casey Fields. Tim Smith kicking a goal for Casey. Late on in the second quarter, 59 plays 23. So a big lead for Casey, and they've been able to cement their lead in that second quarter and getting the job done. We'll get a halftime score for you from there shortly. We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to look ahead to tonight's big game. It is Richmond and Williamstown, and we're going to hear from their coach, Craig McRae, ahead of a big game at the Swinburne Centre at Punt Road Oval. That's all still to come. 30-point lead to Box Hill. Back with more soon here on Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any two suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson. It's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it, doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wink up first. Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved. Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved. Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
Streaming live through vfl.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Half time here at Northport Oval, Stannard Stadium. The Love the Game final series is underway, and it is a lead to Box Hill 55 over Port Melbourne 4-1-25. And we'll get you a half-time score from down at Casey Fields. It is Casey 9-5-59. Geelong 3-6-24. So around similar scorelines here in terms of margin for both of these games. We'll see how they play out in the second half. Big game coming up tonight. It is Richmond and Williamstown. Richmond haven't beaten Williamstown since they re-emerged as a standalone side again a few years ago. In fact, you have to go all the way back to the turn of the century for the last time that a Richmond side has beaten a Williamstown side. They play at the Swinburne Centre tonight. We'll be there on Peter Jackson VFL Live, and we'll be there from 6 o'clock on 11:16 SEN with an extended pre-match. We'll hear from both coaches and wrap up the results from today, and then get stuck in at 10 past 7. If you haven't got your tickets yet and you want to go, make sure you jump on the VFL website, vfl.com.au, and grab your tickets, because it is selling out very, very quickly. Their coach is Craig McRae, and he caught up with Jack Heverin and Anthony Stanguts a little bit earlier in the week on the SEN VFL show, which you can hear on a Tuesday evening on 11:16 SEN, and looking forward to the challenge that Williamstown presents.
It's exciting to be embarking on another finals campaign.
Yeah, it's hard not to be excited, isn't it? I know we just are sort of just running off the track to get to the phone, and the boys are pretty excited what's to come.
We were talking about this earlier in the show, that there's just a special feeling about that Punt Road is going to be in the middle of Melbourne, all lit up on Saturday night, and all eyes on this game.
Yeah, I just mentioned to our playing group, the excitement, the build-up for it. 3,500 tickets are on sale, and I've been told to tell you, to the people who want to go to the game, the listeners out there, to get online to get tickets, because they will sell out and there's no opportunity to get tickets on match day at the gate. So, that's including kids that are free. So I suggest you get on the online and get involved in that. But, I said to our guys that, I'm not sure if the neighbours are going to be that happy when they get on the lighting system, pointing straight back at them. But, there's a lot to be excited about, as I said.
Craig, what was it like in that final round? You still had to get the win to get the top 2 spot and get that home final. What was it like leading into the game and also on that kind of Super Saturday of Peter Jackson VFL action with all games on the one day at once?
Yeah, it was difficult to know what was going on because you just control what we could, and I thought we played extremely well, particularly for the first 3 quarters, and the game was sort of after half time was sort of 80-point lead, so we sort of had the game well in our control. And I did ask at some stage, what was going on in the other games, and it didn't surprise me the way Williamstown are playing. That they were just in front of Casey, but a few things. It took right to the last minute, didn't it, to decide what the last decided what the finals would be.
Yeah, and I suppose looking at the game, it was an opportunity for not only to get that home final, but also for a number of your players to show what they're capable of coming into a final series, both at VFL and AFL level. Yeah,
it's a good point. We spoke again tonight about that importance of that. We had a lot of guys that didn't play last year. We had 21 fit AFL players for the whole final series last year, which meant the likes of Daniel Caulfield, Jake Hartz, Tom Silvestro, those guys in particular, Brandon Wood, even AFL listed Ivan Soldo didn't play last year. So there's a lot of tough conversations we had late in the week, selection-wise, and I just asked the guys to draw back on that feeling of missing out and not being part of what we had going last year, and don't lose sight of that, because there's opportunities that definitely will present this year for those guys, and we can harness that hunger.
Craig, it's been fascinating to watch some of the development of some of your boys this year. Ivan Soldo's one in particular that you mentioned, didn't play last year. He's taken a while. The big fellas always take a little bit longer, but it seems to me that certainly in the second half of the year, and you throw in a bit more AFL experience with that too, that he's starting to really put all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we've had Hammer, Sean Hampson's been on the list, and then Ivan Marek last year. So Soldo was always sort of a third wheel, and it's difficult to get enough match time for him. And so he was sort of deprived of opportunity, if you like. And then this year he's been pretty much the go-to guy at VFL level in particular. He's playing 80-90% in the ruck, and he looks like a big, strong man now. He's 4 years in the system, and he's been so important to us. And we haven't played with him in our team against Williamstown this year, so I'm looking forward to having him in our team.
Craig, you talked about the VFL listed players. It must be great to see a player like Jake Arts get a combine invite, and for those Richmond fans out there, a familiar name made his debut as 23rd player on the weekend as well in a Lambert.
Yeah, just on Jake Arts, I have such admiration for the young man. He's a labourer. He gets up early and works hard, and then he comes to training and trains even harder. And he had an enormous pre-season. He's played 50-odd VFL games now, and had an enormous pre-season. He really set up his season well, and he's playing above the level. I talked to our AFL players about coming to VFL and look like AFL players. Well, he's done that pretty much for the whole year, and it doesn't surprise me that AFL clubs are interested, because he looks like he's ready to play AFL footy.
What do you expect of your opponents from the weekend? We were talking earlier about the versatility that this team has.
Yeah, no, they've beaten us twice this year. Just recently, only 2 weeks ago. So we got a good look at what they're capable of, and I got just so much admiration for Andy Collins, the way he goes about it. I know he'll have a few tricks up his sleeve. That's just the way he is. And but we're going to have to improve on what we've produced against them recently. But I think we've learned a lot, and we're up for the challenge.
And looking at who comes in and out of the team, probably disappointing news from the weekend with Jacob Townsend. His season looks to be finished. Yeah,
it's funny how footy can work. 12 months ago, he's the Cinderella story, and this year, he's sitting there disappointed with his leg in plaster. And I did draw upon that too after the game on the weekend. That we've got young AFL aspiring players that you never know when your opportunity can present. So we're hungry for that success, that opportunity, but also, there's opportunities with us and as a team too. So, it's funny how the game works, doesn't it? It's a bit of a cruel blow for him, but he's such a strong character. I'm sure he'll bounce back from it.
Richmond's VFL coach Craig McRae chatting to us tonight here on the Sporting Capital. Craig, I guess a lot of us look on and marvel in many ways at what Richmond collectively have been able to do in the last couple of years with the AFL team, the VFL team, and it seems to me that there's almost this one club culture in many ways, that it almost doesn't matter if you're playing for the VFL team, even if you're a VFL listed player, you're a part of something broader. Would that be fair?
Yeah, well, we'd like to think so.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time, our culture and our connection, and it does. There's certain times throughout the year that you just get a feel that you're part of something pretty special. And the Reece Conker one was for me. I'm on the bench match days for the AFL, and when Reece got injured, about 8 weeks ago now, he's got stretched off, and every single player on the ground went to him. And again, it's something that at the AFL level we strive to have as well. And it's just that feeling and that sense of belonging and connection as we use. And we had 47 players play VFL footy this year, and it doesn't take. We've got a lot of guys that come in and play roles for 1 week, 2 weeks, and some of them more. But I'd like to think we set something up that they feel like they're part of something bigger than just what normal clubs have.
And talking about being part of the club, it must have been great to see one of the former assistants in Tom Hunter take on the reins with the VFL women's team this year, and they celebrated the best and fairest last night with Jess Kennedy taking out the award. But it must be great to see someone like that and his progression within the same football club.
Yeah, I've known Tom for a long while. When I was at Collingwood, Tom unfortunately had a serious injury which ended his football career. He was a talented young player, rookie listed player. And then he came and worked with me in the VFL for a couple of years. And he's a school teacher. He's a really, really good educator. I was just rapt to see him get an opportunity with the VFL women's, and looks like it probably lead on to the AFL women's when they get in the system. But he's such a great communicator. I know he had a difficult year and challenging year trying to start something from scratch, but you're in very good hands there.
So there he is. That's Craig McRae catching up with Anthony Stangetz and also Jack Heverin on the SEN VFL show on Tuesday nights. And make sure it is must-listen radio on 1116 SEN. And you can get the podcast via vfl.com.au as well. Here at Stannard Stadium at Port Melbourne, it is Box Hill 8-7-55, leading Port Melbourne 4-1-25 as Port Melbourne makes its way out onto the ground. And just repeating the halftime score from Casey Fields, it's Casey 9-5-59, leading Geelong 3-6-24. So very, very good lead for the Casey Demons there. Pedersen with 3 goals for the Casey Demons. And that is to half-time. Umpires back out on the ground as well. We'll take a break. On the other side of the break, back with the second quarter action. It's Box Hill with the advantage here. Let's see what happens in the second half. It's coming up next on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
Your Peter Jackson VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wink up first. Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota Top 5 Plays of the Week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
It's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it, doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
And it is half time here at Stannard Stadium, Northport Oval, and it is a lead 30 points to Box Hill, 8-7-55. Port Melbourne 4-1-25. Peter Mercado, Michael Leeds and Glenn Hill with you this afternoon, and wouldn't you know it, half time was fine, plenty kick to kick happening out in the ground. As soon as the two sides come back out and Hilly moves himself back to the boundary, the rain comes again. Hilly, you just cannot win today.
Yeah, it just seems a little unfair at the moment.
It does a bit.
But look, we're in for a really good second half. I'm sure Port Melbourne will come out and give everything. It's a do or die final. Obviously, being down 5 goals now in wet conditions is not ideal. But hopefully they come out firing and we get themselves back into the contest. We get a really tight finish.
Do you think the rain helps anyone, Hilly?
It might actually help Box Hill a little more. They just have a few more senior bodies. And I actually feel, even though it was a small amount of rain that came early in the second quarter, from the time that came, it was really Box Hill that took over the game, and they really got on top for a good 15 to 20 minute period. And Port Melbourne got quite a few young players. They've got 6 players playing in their first final today, and it seemed to really have an impact on them in that second quarter.
Just repeating that halftime score at Casey Fields. It's Casey 9-5-59, Geelong 3-6-24. Those two teams with the double chance. It is a qualifying final, so the winner has a week off, loser out. These two sides, loser out today, winner through to next week. Let's get into the second half, Leedsy.
It's Pitnet straight away, got it down, and Andrew Moore, good strong tackle from O'Sullivan Senior in the middle. We're going nowhere. Umpire will come in and do it all again. 30 points to margin now. There's a free kick here for some undisciplined play, and it's going to go the way of the Box Hill Hawks skipper. Got it to Hams on the wing. Come back to that in just a moment. Goes inside the 50. Big flies everywhere. No one can take the mark. Wolfenden picks up the ball at the back. Hanrahan, strong tackle. Affected the Wolfenden kick. He's headed towards the line, and he's going to be pinged. Gee, I thought he had a man to kick to. Kilpatrick's there to take it, and he goes quickly inboard, and the mark is taken. Cousins in front of Van Oonen, and he'll kick from 45 metres. What did you think of the initial free kick in the middle of the ground, Hilly?
Come back to him. Might be doing a little battery change.
Well, hard to disagree.
Sorry, I got you again, boys. Yeah, it's just not the ideal start here at all for Port Melbourne.
Cousins, 45 out, and he's missed to the left-hand side. 56-25, 1 minute gone in this third term.
Richmond and Williamstown tonight, 11-16 SEN, and then tomorrow it is Collingwood and Essendon. As Cook goes with the long ball, Jath trying to take the mark, couldn't do so, off hands. O'Brien for Port Melbourne just paddles towards the boundary line. It looks like it's come off a Box Hill foot, so it'll be out of bounds on the full. Unlucky there for the Hawks. O'Brien to take it. He's switching. He wants to go back. Now he decides to turn around and go forwards on that outer side. Long ball, Pitnet going in with a fist towards the boundary line. It hits the picket fence. We'll have it thrown in on centre wing on that outer side. On Peter Jackson VFL Live this afternoon. Everyone taking shelter over there. Our commentary boxes for the remainder of the final series. Channel 7's one as well. 56 plays 25. Box Hill leading. Casey leading Geelong at half time. Casey Fields has the ball to ground. O'Sullivan, he was 360 by more there. Just dropped the footy. Now good tackle being laid by O'Rourke. Just holding up Woofenden. And the umpire will throw the ball up. It's going to be real wet weather footy sort of stuff in this second half. So handy advantage to Box Hill.
As Cousins just seems to lap it up, doesn't he? He rode the contest, got it away, but Rivet was there. He was well tackled by Dylan Moore. So a fair bit of the footy this afternoon. Looked dangerous. He's around this stoppage again. Knocked to the wing. Lang's going to be first there, just under a little bit of pressure. Players going to ground everywhere now. It's become very slippery as O'Rourke goes down the line. Lewis kept it in front of himself. Cook awaits the cavalry to arrive. In the end, he decides that he's going to have to force Lewis and the ball over. And they'll toss it back in. Half forward flank. Box Hill attacking. And it's fairly steady now, this rain.
Check the radar, guys.
I'm just doing that, and there's just a band coming through, and then we're okay for a bit. Hopefully that's the rest of the second half.
That's what the commentator says from up in the stands, Hilly. I'm not sure I trust that. The ball going to be tossed back in for a secondary ball in.
It'll be stopping shortly.
The umpire has asked the ruckman to stop quizzing and get rucking. It'll be Lyle and Pitnet. Pitnet got it down, nicely done, Kilpatrick. Andrew Moore, a high ball inside the 50. They're not going to take a mark. Dixon knocked it forward. Who's going to be clean at ground level? It's no easy feat now. Hanrahan got it away to Andrew Moore, slipped through his fingers over the line, and they'll toss it back in. Not far from where the block was built. If this was part of the cell.
Well, they certainly in the show had nice panoramic vision over the top of the grandstand.
Wonderful way to spend a Saturday afternoon if you've got that view. As Tynan comes away from the stoppage, just went to the ground at the wrong moment. Anastasio's on the end of the Conway handball. High ball to the lead of Rivet, who kept his eyes on it and ran back with the flight nicely. Now can they make something of this meaningful thrust forward? Pearson up in the mark, couldn't take it. At ground level, knocked on. Van Oonen in the way. His kick smothered. Might be an injury for Duray. Keep an eye on that one. Ball knocked back at the flank. And Pearson was away, but there's a free kick, and it's going to go the way of the Hawks. So Hams to get them out of trouble.
Duray's in a little bit of trouble here. He's just hobbling around just next to this contest.
Not sure he got a corky there, just in the quad.
Yep, hopefully he can run that out. They'll look after him. O'Brien's kick long up the wing is a good one. No mark played. Oh, I thought that was a clear mark. Anyway, Burrow to try and take this ball up the ground. Hooper on centre wing. Grandstand side. His kick finds Lyle. Too far out to score, so he puts the ball in short. Pearson comes out and takes the mark. But we'll come back. Taylor Duray, he's not looking like he's going to come from the ground, but he is hobbling right near you, Glenn Hill.
Yeah, he is. He's certainly got copped some contact just into his quad area, maybe even high hip. So just give me a moment just to chase that up. He's certainly not moving too well.
No, and he's making his way into the dugout. Meanwhile here, the kick at goal from Blake Pearson. 22 goals in these 18 games, played all of them this season. He misses. 4-26, plays 8-56. Port Melbourne goalless since quarter time. Box Hill Hawks managed to put on 3, and they're looking to put the foot down here.
They're going to bring it back in. Long ball, high. Pitnet flies. Got a fist in, got to beat the pack in the end. Andrew Moore's got a handle on it. He got it to Jones. Ball to half forward for the Hawks. Not quite a mark. Dangerous times now for Port Melbourne to defend. Brolick half a chance. Knocked away from Lloyd. still working on all fours as it's knocked out. There's a chance for the Hawks. Willsmore, he tries to feed it wide. Kilpatrick was there, but he was worked off the footy nicely by Wolfenden. He retreats by hand to Mercedes. Around the corner he goes. Jice got to go back with the flight here. Kept going, and he had some support there. Miles, handball back to Brand, who just hacked it forward off the ground. Rivet knocked away more. That was good stuff. Cleared a path for Haratuku. He got it away to Wolfenden. He's kicked right into the body of a Hawk, and it ricochets towards the line. They'll toss it back in. Plenty of pressure around the footy, but the Borough can't afford to play this game for too long. They just need to peg back this lead. Ball toss back in. Pitnet front position. Couldn't find a teammate at ground level. Cousins goes to work and clears a path for Pitnet, who had it and lost it. Rivet, well played. Picked it up and then banged it forward. At the back, Brand got a fist in. Little toe poke from Miles. Ditto from Glass. Oh, what can he do here, the Irishman? Picked it up very cleanly. Handball was okay momentarily, but Mercedes got in the way. He hacked it forward inside the 50. 3-on-1 for the Hawks, and Brand takes the relieving mark.
He does, and he kicks across the ground potentially dangerously, but they get out of that trouble. The kick is into open space. Foot race, Brolick. He's going to be second in the contest. Tynan wrapped up in the Brolick tackle. The ball eventually spills free. Opportunity hand-to-hand. He couldn't pick it up cleanly. What on the 23rd man, King. Handball to Anastasio. Across here to O'Brien. He's 55 from goal. He's kicked to the top of the goal square. Haratuku flew high. Pearson in the goal square. He can't take it. Picks it up again. This time he kicks the goal. Oh, they almost made a mess of that. The Borough got a goal against the run of play. 8:56 Box Hill, Port Melbourne 5-2-32. 8 minutes gone in the third quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
And finally some reward for effort for Port Melbourne. They certainly worked really hard there to bring that ball even along the flanks there, not letting that ball get out of bounds, and created the opportunity. And I'd say they've had a fair spray at half-time, and they're going to give themselves every chance to get back into the contest.
Quickly, 71-24. Casey Lee, Geelong, early stages, third quarter.
Still in contested situation in the middle. Lang got through a bit of traffic. Right foot to space. Anastasio, Lyle picks up the ball for Port Melbourne. Spins around after just shimmying with the handball inside the 50. It's going to be chopped off. Well read by Cousins. Like the look of his game, he heads to the outer flank, and Willsmore takes it at half-back. He goes over the top. Kilpatrick right near the line, and just a few little errors starting to creep in for the Hawks. Cook going to take it at centre wing. He goes down the line. Cousins going to have to sit underneath it. Pearson got a fist in. It came to ground. Miles bombs away. Got 40 metres. It spills out the back. Cook had it and lost it. Strong contest from Tynan. Ball spilled for the Hawks though. Lewis to Willsmore. Further afield to Cousins. Down the line. Might be a Port Melbourne man down. Again. It's out of bounds on the full, but he's okay. It's Tynan who bounces back to his feet. And Dixon takes it at half back. Port Melbourne hanging in for the minute. Crowd desperate to get behind them in this one. He comes back across the ground. That's a nice aggressive ball. They've got it at centre half back for Mercedes. The switch is going to be complete here as he finds Hooper in front of Jones for the Hawks. He's got it at defensive 50. Grandstand side through the middle. Really good kick by Sullivan. Can they get going? Tommy's got it. He kicks a long ball to half forward. Lyle's in the contest here. Good fist at the back. Well played O'Brien. Came to Andrew Moore. Little handball to Hams. Little one around the corner to Howe. But it's out or fisted over. They'll toss it back in. Centre wing, commentary side of the ground.
Any update on Taylor Duray, Hilly, while we've got the chance?
He's just actually just moving just to my left at the moment. Looks like he'll be ready to come back on shortly.
Heavy bandage there. Heavy tape, Hilly.
Yeah, it is taped up and wrapped up. I dare say it was just a corky contact just in the quad.
They'll be wanting to get back on. Pitnet handball over the top. Hams, so we'll just go barrel sort of style up towards centre half forward. Still with the numbers here, the Hawks. Around his body is Ross. A high ball just inside the 50. Now that's an excellent mark. It's Lloyd down there who's taken it. Two shimmies, one way then the other. Now the kick going towards Wolfen in the middle of the ground. Now they've got some run through the middle. Another opportunity is a long, long ball. It's a dribbling ball skidding. Walker trying to pick it up. And now the tackle being laid. Excellent work from the Hawks. They could see that play coming a mile away. Excellent work over the line. We'll have it thrown in. Just the experience there. Tim O'Brien's had some sort of game today. in defence for the Hawks. He's going to be relied upon here again. Gerace still waits for his opportunity to come back onto the ground. Toss back in, top of the goal square. Centering kick for the Hawks. It's just a high up and under sort of job, and it's been marked by Hooper. Came in and said, my ball, and he's taken the mark. Now, he's directly in front. Brolick on the mark is at 45 metres.
Gee, I think Cousins was lucky not to give the 50 away there, Hilly.
I might have missed that, Leety.
Just wandering through, not quite onto the game, and umpire said okay.
Harvey Hooper kicked 3 goals in 11 games this season. The kick is drifting. Good. It's a goal. Harvey Hooper gets his first for the afternoon. 12 minutes into this third quarter. 56 plays 38. It's Box Hill leading here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. The Love the Game final series from 6 tonight, 11:16 SEN will be live with Williamstown and Richmond from the Swinburne Centre. That's the Swinburne Centre, leads you at Punt Road Oval. And if you haven't got tickets, get them now, vfl.com.au, because it's sure to sell out tonight. Tomorrow, get your tickets as well. Father's Day, it's going to be Collingwood and Essendon.
We knew they wouldn't go quietly, Port Melbourne. They're putting up a fight here. We're back in the middle. Lyle got it away to Templeton. They're starting to have the run of it. He goes to half forward. A big ball in the air. They all went to ground except O'Brien, who picks it up from 51. Can he finish? It's close. It's there! Yeah. Oh, they will not yield. This magnificent football club comes again. And it's a young man who gets them right back in it. 44 to 56, 13 gone, third turn.
We've got the close one, Leedsy.
Now we have. Yes, it's one-way traffic down to Casey Fields at the moment. 71 playing 24, the last score we had, early stages of that third quarter. Leah Casey leading Geelong back in the middle. How can Box Hill respond here? In the middle of the ground, how? They still manage to paddle it forward, but it's going to be taken away. Cook with the handball across. Works it across there. Lloyd, his kick into space. His kick to the boundary line. The umpire says throw this one in, which is what will occur. And we'll have it thrown in on that outer side. The rain has stopped. Hopefully, it's the last shower we have for the game as the ball's tossed back in. Into the ruck here, Lewis for Box Hill. Dribbles towards the Box Hill 50. Tynan to pick it up. He's 360, just managed to get the handball away. Did he know a throw? There's Hanrahan's kick. Up to the hot spot, Brolick. One grab, not the second. They come piling in. Now an opportunity again. Wolfenden for Port Melbourne. Just sets. Lloyd the kick outside the 50. And a clean bowls everyone. It's going up to centre wing. It's going out. And the umpire will say, throw this one in. So,
just a score update in the NEFL.
Yeah, please.
Brisbane Lions reserves led all the first half, but are getting steamrolled at the moment. Aspley 10-14-74. Brisbane Lions reserves 7-10-52.
We've got it all covered. The good and the bad news is Templeton just trying to work to the boundary. Lovell there as well. We'll have it thrown in. Centre wing outer side of this Stannard Stadium. Northport Oval. Plenty of finals action to come next week. The semis, prelims after that. VFL.com.au to get your tickets.
Lewis front position. Lyle went to ground. He wins it to Rivet though, who's there for Port Melbourne. No free kick on play. Andrew Moore picked it up but got it only as far as Wolfenden, who busts away from the initial tackle, but then he was brought to ground. Good enough to get it away to Mercedes. Long fine ball, might beat the pack. Out the back, a chance for Pearson. Will it go through? It's knocked over.
It's a goal.
Oh, he's going to call it a goal. It beat the pack. The Hawks can't believe it. The Borough fans go bananas. And we're back to a goal of difference.
Oh, now I thought he touched that.
He certainly touched it.
But where did he touch it?
I've got the feeling he touched it over the line.
Really?
Yeah, I felt like the ball carried, but gee, the players on the goal line, who are in a much better position than me, for Box Hill, were adamant that it was touched before it went over the line, and were pointing for the boundary umpire to intervene.
I'd want to see a replay of that. We haven't got one, unfortunately.
Mercedes goals from 70 metres, and we're back to 6 points the margin.
Now more in the middle of the ground for Box Hill, up towards half forward. Tynan tried to ride the bump. Hooper there as well, but there's a free kick for a fend off. it goes the way of Box Hill at half forwards. It's Hanrahan who's got it. He's 60 from goal, right in the middle of Stannard Stadium. His kick going towards the pocket. No mark taken. Chance here again for the Borough. Dangerous footy. Rivet. Oh, he lost a handle on a friendly fire from his teammate. Hooper is on hands and knees. Can't get the footy away. No one can get clear from the contest. And now it's locked in. The umpire will throw the ball up. Well, photo finish for that last goal. Where was that Box Hill Hawks touch? Was it over the line? I'll have to look on the replay. Hooper almost went without it. O'Rourke lost a handle on it more. His quick kick is only going about 15 metres. And Tommy O'Sullivan, the senior one for Port Melbourne, takes the mark. His kick outside the 50. It beats Haratuku. It beats everyone, in fact. And we'll have it thrown in on that outer side. Well. Back to a one-goal ball game. 17 minutes gone in this third quarter. Big games to come tonight. But for the meantime, this ball's being thrown in. Waddell and Pitnet. Pitnet the front position. Cook, he was bustled off the footy. Right across there as well. The handball out. So they try and find some space. Rivet. Oh, taken high by Pitnet accidentally. He's a tall fella, Pitnet. He gave away the free kick.
And he just pushed Rivet and then ran away.
Yeah, as quickly as he could. So Mac Rivet played every game in the home and away season. And he kicks up the line. Waddell's the tall target. Oh, big fly from O'Brien over the back. He couldn't get anything on it, and it goes over the line again. Just pushing into attack here is Port Melbourne. 56 plays 50, 18 gone in this final term, third term I should say. The ball's tossed back in, overcast conditions. Waddell and Pitnet. Waddell the front position. No one can get away cleanly here. Might have been a bit of a hold. Umpire says no call as just pushing up the line is Lovell trying to hack it forward. He finds the boundary line again, and we will have it thrown in on that outer side on centre wing. So a flurry of goals here for Port Melbourne in this third term, but it's still Box Hill with the 6-point advantage.
The Hawks hanging on, but only just for the minute. Been all the Borough in this third term. Pitnet front position. Can he find a teammate at ground level? Chance there for more. That was Dillon, but coming through River, gee, like a bull. And he just got it going forward. There's another strong contest on the line between Cooper and Moore. And they'll toss it back in.
Round the grounds, Casey 83, Geelong 31. They're similar game time to us in the third term at Casey Fields.
Well, fair to say, that one is fairly significantly close to a result as Hooper, ground level, can't come up with it. Pitnet fisted it forward, all strong stuff in defence, Van Unen taken without it. Rivet got it going inside the 50, it might be the pack again to raise the last man under all sorts of pressure. Pearson lurking, right cross, little handball through the hands of O'Brien. Everyone's feeling the pressure. He went to ground, came up, half a chance O'Brien, little one Mercedes, left foot, he's gone! What a goal! He's the man that's lit him up in this third term. Wonderful hands again from O'Brien at ground level. And it's the Borough babies who've got them going. 56 apiece, 8-8 to 9-2, 20 gone third term.
Oh, why do these two always play such close games?
Amazing pickup in the wet conditions and just puts it on the left. Unbelievably well executed.
Well, they've dropped the marker here, haven't they? And they take it away again. Waddell, he goes with a high ball inside 50. Lyle couldn't take the mark. Again, O'Brien strong. He goes for a run. The kick up the line, heading up towards half forward, the one-on-one contest. And Van Unen had the ball fisted away from him. And we will have it thrown into attack here for Box Hill.
And you look around the ground and all of a sudden Port Melbourne doing everything right. Van Unen in front on that occasion, getting in front of his opponent on the lead to the ball. Everything going their way at the moment, Port Melbourne.
That defensive pressure that we've seen from Box Hill, we saw in that opening half, has just dropped ever so slightly more. Oh, he's got two to contend with here. He's trapped the footy. It'll be a ball up. As they just continue to press. Just need to break the shackles here, the Hawks. Ball's tossed back up. Pitnet with front position. taps the ball behind him in the end. Templeton to try and track it. Working their hands and knees. Howe. It's near the line again. Umpire getting into position. Oh, deliberate again. Gee, they've been on that today. Templeton to take the free kick at half back. Gee, they teach you going forward for the Hawks and you still get penalised. The kick smothered. It's on 50 now. Here's an opportunity against the runner play. Lining him up is Maloney, the 23rd player. He misses to the left-hand side. 1 point lead to Box Hill. 57 plays, 56, 21, almost 22 minutes gone in this third quarter at Stannard Stadium.
The kick in is good. Lloyd takes the mark in his defensive 50 for Port Melbourne. And they seem to be handling the conditions pretty well, the Borough. He goes back to Cook, who's got it in the defensive pocket. A little left forward kick, asked a lot there in the conditions sheet. Just as I said they were handling it, he's kicked it out on the full, trying to be too cute. Howe's going to bring it back in for the Hawks. They need a goal, Box Hill. He kicks to the pocket. There's a fly at the front. Did well. Cook stayed down. Tackled well by Jones. Or kick from Waddell. Smothered off the boot. Hanrahan has it at ground level. They're in over the top of him. Dixon's got him. They wanted to hold in the footy. Nothing doing. Lovell's got his little nose over it. He loves that. He comes up with the footy. Little left foot kick around the corner. They need to mark the Hawks. They're not going to get one. Big contest in the air now at ground level. Tynan had it and lost it. Strong stuff. Well played. Lang, Rivet, got himself out of trouble.
Nothing
beautifully did Mack, and he can settle them down as Lyle takes the mark at half back.
Nothing up ahead. They've got a stream down the ground here, the Borough. That's why Lyle has to take his time. The kick up the ground, Rivet. Oh, big fist over the top from Whitecross. Over the line, we'll have it thrown in. Oh, good contest this one. Top finals footy's all about. The Love the Game final series here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. We've still got a couple more games to come. Richmond Williamstown tonight, and then tomorrow Collingwood Essendon. Ball tossed back in, centre wing. Lyle just pushed off the footy, falls to Cousins. He's been good today. Brings the ball around inside the 50. He could take the mark. It's off hands. Hanrahan did his absolute best to try and take a diving mark. He couldn't in the slippery conditions under pressure, but they're inside 50 here, the Hawks. They lead by a point. We've played 23 and a half minutes in this third quarter. This one's going to go down the wire, you feel. Ball tossed back in. Pitnet and Lyle. Pitnet the front position. Hacked out of there by Moore up to the top of the goal square. No one can take the mark. Wolfenden. He's on hands and knees. Just throws it out. Moore getting into the way. It's Andrew Moore. The ball is over the line. We'll have it thrown in. Jones not getting a clean run at it. Up there for Box Hill. But it's in there. Attacking 50. They're about 10 metres around from the behind post. Ball to be tossed back in. Pitnet getting the front position. Trying to come through. Player taken off the footy for Box Hill. No call again. Cook's kick smothered. And it's over the line. We will have it thrown in again. Tight contest again. 57 plays 56.
Doesn't feel like they've lacked anything for Will Hill here. It's just Port have been cleaner.
Yeah, certainly after half time, they've come out a lot cleaner, and that's what they weren't doing in the second quarter and most of the first quarter. They just weren't clean with the footies. They cleaned it right up.
The ruck contest not existent there. Beat the pack out the back. Moore, Howe crashing in over the top. O'Sullivan. Players want hold in the footy. There's nothing doing.
Around the grounds, 89 plays 31. Mitch Hannon kicking a goal for Casey. Casey leading Geelong down there.
That's Tom O'Sullivan Senior, who's come up in the blue paint after being on the 50. Knocked away by Pitnet. Maloney does the tackling. He's got 3 to beat here. He's doing a good job of it. Taken to the line by King. Maloney's over the top with him, and that'll do. They'll toss it back in again. Liked some of Matthew King's work this afternoon. Jake O'Brien's been good as well. Big moments. And they've got their side right back in this contest. 30 points to margin to the Hawks at half-time. Pitnet goes to work front position. Good stuff, Arnott. Strong enough to get the kick away despite being slung in the tackle. Brolick flies, couldn't take it. He had Howe for company in the air. Spilt for O'Brien. Little toe poke inside the 50. Lyle picks it up at his defensive 50. His kick smothered. Picked up by Willsmore. On to Kilpatrick. Rush kick fortuitous. And Andrew Moore takes the mark. Only 2 in from the boundary line. It'll take some kicking from here.
He wants to give it off. He was wanting to give that ball off. He looked up straight away. The eyes are darting around to try and give this ball off, try and look for an option.
It might just be time to set sail as skipper. 57 to 56, closing in on three-quarter time. The Hawks skipper is going to fly from the boundary from 35. Oh. He's done it. This game just keeps getting better and better and better. Magnificent move from the boundary, and the Hawks extend that lead out to 7 points as we approach three-quarter time.
You're not wrong, Leedsy. Skipper's goal. And Box Hill, after allowing 5 consecutive goals, just steadied in the last 5 minutes or so. And now lead by 7 points. It's been an unbelievable contest so far.
1 goal 2 to 5 goals 1 in this quarter. 63 plays 56, closing in on three-quarter time. Pitnet getting the tap down. Player pushed off the footy for Box Hill. Again, no call, but they've got it here. The Hawks temporarily, in fact, Lang was being held. Free kick in the middle of the grounds. Staying the mark, Dallas Willsmore wants to go on with it as the kick heads across the ground inside 50. Strong mark again. And a bit to go on with. Might be a fitty. Umpires talking to the players. Release the footy. Release the footy. It's Pitnet again. Just a little bit crude. But in the end, it's going to be Eli Templeton who's going to have the shot at goal. He's going to kick right where the 5 and 0 are on the ground, on the Norm Goss stand side. And he'll be kicking from those numbers.
Just might struggle for distance here, Pete. I'd look for plenty of guys on the goal line.
And that's what looks to be happening at the moment. Eli Templeton, the 12 goals. He's played every game this season. Has he got the trip? No, it's on the goal line, and it's rushed through for a behind. Oh, I thought the fist came in. The goal umpire was just stationary there as if they were going to signal the goal.
Is that a big quarter, that goal umpire?
63 plays 57. As we tick down, 28 minutes gone in the third term.
The Irishman Glass with a long ball. Templeton flew high into the sky but couldn't take it. O'Rourke take it in the tackle. Toe poked forward by Howe, away from hands. Yep, no, that's fair enough. It's a hard game to adjudicate, but that hand was on the footy when it was kicked away. It's got to be given a free kick, and King inside the 50. There's plenty of high flyers. There's fisted forward away from the contest. Hawks first there, Lovell, but Rivet's got him and he tosses him into the turf, but the umpire says he had no prior opportunity and I'll toss it up.
Just quickly, it's 89 plays 32. Casey over Geelong, 22 into the third there.
Waddell front position, knocked it away, found Templeton, little snap around the corner, won't do. It's out of bounds on the full. 57 to 63, 29 goal in third term.
Brand's got to go and pick up the footy in the back pocket, which he duly does. Last line of defence. Just a bit of damage mitigation here for Box Hill. Not want to let another Port Melbourne goal through. And his kick, it's off the side of the boots, right near the boundary line. Waddell with a big fist back inside 50 over the top of Lovell. And the umpire will throw the ball in where the 50 in the boundary line intersects. Into attack here for Port Melbourne. 63 plays 57. There's the ball to be tossed back in. I think that goal against the run of play from Andrew Moore might be crucial. Here he is again. And he just hacks the ball in towards the centre square. Bounces off Hooper. Picked up by Maloney, who's set his man a task to run onto it. It's Jones who's got to pick it up. Now he goes across the ground. Didn't quite get all of it. Mercedes trying to paddle it forward. Brolick there for company. Van Unen trying to pick it up. Jones doing a good job in the end too. But they've gone outside their 50. Again, it's really hard stuff at the moment. Off the ground goes Dixon, heading towards the boundary line. It's Mercedes, it's Moore, it's boundary line, it's over. Good contest from all players there. And we'll have it thrown in.
Port did really well there to hold up. They were outnumbered completely, and Van Unen did extremely well to not only get the ball in play, not give a free kick away, but get the ball moving in his direction.
1 goal the difference as we head towards three-quarter time. Pitnet getting the tap down, getting the ball out there, wide cross as he works it across there to Cousins, who dribbles the ball only as far as Masiti for Port Melbourne. His kicker around the body, 2-on-1 in favour of Port Melbourne, and it goes that way, but hands were slung as he kicked. It's out of bounds on the full. And so it means that on that outer side, it'll be Lyle to take it. Right on centre wing. Right near the commentary boxes out there. He's not sure where to go, so he's just going to go back to Mercedes. And It looks like they're going to switch here. The players are sort of getting into that formation. Cook will be the switcher. Now he's got Dixon here if he wants him. He uses him on the grandstand side. The switch completes. On centre wing, little shorty ball over the top. Lloyds just holding things up on centre wing. The crowd getting a little bit restless as the Borough. Got to be careful here because three-quarter time isn't too far away. Mercedes got it. And he's pointed the square defensive side back where he was pretty much. Goes for a run. It's played on. And he goes in short. So they haven't advanced anywhere. This is good defensive work. They're onto this Box Hill. Cook again, centre half back. And again goes to Dixon at defensive 50. Hooper's the option out wide. Templeton a little bit further afield, but instead back to Cook. Excellent defensive pressure from Box Hill to hold that ball up. And what a quarter it was. What a third quarter. Port Melbourne fighting back, but it's still Box Hill with the advantage by 1 goal. 9-9-63. Plays 9-3-57 in that quarter for Port Melbourne. They polled on 5 goals 2, and for Box Hill 1 goal 2 to see it. Margin reduced from 30 points to just 6 heading into the final change. Let's go through the goal kickers to three-quarter time. Jackson Ross has 2 goals for Box Hill. Also Brendan Whitecross, and singles to Andrew Moore, Brolick, Jones, Dylan Moore and Lewis. And for Port Melbourne, 2 goals to Damien Masiti, and singles the rest. Rivet, Tom O'Sullivan Senior, Shannon, Lang, Anastasio, Pearson, Hooper and Jake O'Brien. Three-quarter time here, 9-9-63. Port Melbourne 9-3-57. Around the grounds as we close in to what's happening over there at Casey Fields. It was a convincing lead. 102 plays 33. Big lead for the Casey Demons. They put the foot down there over Geelong and look to be cruising towards a preliminary final. But still plenty to play there. Plenty to play here as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll get inside the Box Hill Hawks huddle on the other side of this break, and then a massive final quarter to come. Stay with us. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson. But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it, doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wickham first. Craig Lowndes second.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Your Peter Jackson VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018. The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved. Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
Where you go?
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
Streaming live through vfl.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Three-quarter time here at Stannard Stadium, Northport Oval, and it's Box Hill 9-9-63, lead by a goal over Port Melbourne 9-3-57. Peter Mercado, Michael Leeds, Glenn Hill with you. Hilly is roaming around the Box Hill huddle. We'll hopefully have Max Bailey for you as soon as that huddle is complete. Now let's go now to what's happening at Casey Fields. I suspect that they're very close to three-quarter time. It is. It's Casey 16-7-103, Geelong 4-9-33. There's a big win coming up there for Casey. Hilly, as soon as you get Max Bailey, just jump in over the top of us as the Box Hill huddle and Port Melbourne huddles break up. Tomorrow it'll be Collingwood and Essendon, and tonight Richmond and Williamstown. Looking forward to that as well. It's going to take a little while for some of these folks, spectators who've had a great day today, to get off the ground. We're set for a one-quarter shootout here. We're floating. We talked in the break, Leedsy, about maybe extra time, but let's go to you, Hilly.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Joined again by Max Bailey. Went into half-time with a big lead at half-time. I know it's a final and probably not that massive, but just went away from your game plan a little bit in that quarter.
Yeah, they started to get momentum their way, which we know they love, and we stopped getting it our way. So it's really what it came down to, us getting our hands on the footy and surging the ball forward. Yeah.
Also, too, the wet weather football, the high pressure causes plenty of fumbles. Probably didn't have enough of that in that quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's Port Melbourne really playing their game plan and get the pressure on, and as I said before, momentum. So we've got to try and stop that.
No worries, mate. We'll let you get back up into the coach's box. Thanks for your time, VFL Live today.
Beautifully done. Thank you, Hilly, with Max Bailey. Just going through the crowd crush as everyone gets off the ground. Remember, tonight it'll be live on Channel 7. It'll be live on 11:16 SEN. Peter Jackson, VFL Live. It'll be Richmond and Williamstown. If you haven't got your tickets yet, what are you doing? Don't wait to get to the ground, because there ain't going to be any. vfl.com.au/finals for all the details of where you can buy your tickets online before you go. And if you have got the kids come in free, but they're going to need tickets as well. So please make sure, if you're going to head there tonight, buy your tickets now. Buy your tickets also if you're coming tomorrow to this venue for Collingwood and Essendon, live also Channel 7 and also 11:16 SEN. As we get ready, the last of the spectators make their way off the ground. It is 9-9-63 Box Hill. Port Melbourne 9-3-57. The crowd right into it here in the Norm Goss grandstand for both sides. Just feel, team, that Andrew Moore goal late in the third quarter could prove to be the difference. Let's go. Final quarter action. Here's Michael Leeds.
Bit net up early, couldn't take it. Rivet got it away to Lang, and Port Melbourne again inside the 50. Oh, almost Conway couldn't take the mark. Spilled here for Pearson. Got it away. That was okay for Arnott, who got it away to Tom O'Sullivan Senior. Long ball might beat the pack. No, good stuff. Duray, wonderful mark in the fingertips. Might have been handy that we're using the fresh footy there for the Doc. And he goes away on the outer side of the ground looking for a long lead of Miles. He slides in and takes it over the line, and they'll toss it back in. So, heard from Big Max Bailey that they need to stop the momentum, but how? Here's the question here for the Hawks. And they've lost the first stoppage of the final term. They led by 30 points, cut back to 6 as we currently stand. Strong tackling at ground level. Umpire says I'll take it and toss it up 49 metres out from Port Melbourne's goal.
Early stages, final turn. Ball tossed back up. No one can get clear. Rivet taken off the footy. Pitnet tried to go off the ground. It went sideways. Lyle trying to get his body over the footy. It's hard and tough stuff at the moment. No one can get clear. The boundary line, the right result. The umpire says throw it in. The game locking in. The rain has stopped. We hope for the rest of the game. A reminder too, if it is a draw in the Peter Jackson VFL Final Series, we will be playing extra time to try and get a result. We will get a result tonight. Ball tossed back in. Pitnet had it all to his own. He puts it into the path here, laying it. Well, trying to get there first. White cross there as well, and the umpire says chuck it in. Right on that outer side, right near our commentary box for tomorrow, Leedsy, for the rest of the final series. We've missed it here at Port Melbourne. Ball tossed back in as Pitnet got the tap down, but Rivet coming through again. Just throws it on the boot up towards centre half forward. O'Sullivan Jr. taken high. Dragged down in the contest. 55 from goal. He's kicked to the top of the goal square. They fly Haratuku at the back. It falls. Here's Lyle working at O'Brien near the boundary line. Hits the post. 58 Port Melbourne, 63 Box Hill. It's 2 minutes gone, final quarter. Casey look like they're going to record a win over Geelong down at Casey Fields in the qualifying final.
So the winner here will take on the Cats next week, but there's plenty to be decided between now and the siren. Long ball from Whitecross, beats the back. Lewis had his kick half smothered. Rivet's there to pick it up, got it away to Hooper, who kept tracking the footy. Well played, Harvey. Got it away to Tom O'Sullivan Sr. Little kick inside the 50 from Lyle. It keeps low to the ground. O'Brien couldn't quite take it for Port. He's going to double back though. Spins out of trouble, then back into trouble, and that's a throw. And the umpire says it'll be a Hawks kick in the back pocket. So Hams has the footy underneath the old clock here at Stannard Stadium. He goes with a long ball. Rivet sits underneath it. Pitnet collects him, but Max up to the task. Templeton comes in over the top and knocks the footy and Lovell over, and they'll toss it back in. Not going far. Hard work with heavy legs on a very rainy day. 3.5 gone. Final term. It's the Hawks, 63 to 58.
So toss back in again, and Pitnet getting the tap down and a secondary go at it as well. Found O'Rourke, he got the handball out, that kick was smothered. Here's Lyle trying to go off the deck and it just ricochets across over the boundary line. Again, we'll have it thrown in on that outer side. Possibly cometh the hour, cometh the igniter. Anthony Anastasio's pretty much done bugger all since quarter time. As the ball's tossed back in. Pitnet and Lyle. Pitnet getting the tap down, but Sullivan Sr. getting it. Some heavy traffic coming through. Langmar has had his head taken off. It falls to Templeton though, sells a bit of canning, then slips over. Still gets to his feet and kicks inside the 50, but coming in, taking a strong mark, Duray. Been excellent today, Taylor Duray. His kick going short to Howe, who tries to get around the traffic, runs into a little bit of trouble, but Duray was there again. This time he goes long, up towards centre wing. Dixon at the back to pick up the footy. No, the boundary line wins out. We'll have it thrown in again. 63, 9-9-63 Box Hill. Port Melbourne 9-4-58. 4.5 minutes gone in this final term. We'll get you an updated score from Casey in a moment, but the Demons getting it done comfortably over Geelong.
So it's a bit of a grind here in the last quarter. The Hawks seem to have stopped this run of the Borough for the moment. They're knocking it goal side on the centre wing. Lang, did he go to ground? He did. The umpire says it's a free kick against Cousins. So Lang's going to play on quickly. Got it away to Templeton, who's peeling off half back nicely. He finds the chest of Pearson, who takes it at centre wing. A long, long way from home. He's going to go on his right boot. Mac Rivet's going to sit front and centre. It's a big contest. It's fisted towards the line. All Hawks in the air. Brand and Whitecross make sure that there's no mark. And they'll toss it back in. But Port Melbourne attacking now. They've got it to the flank. Outer side of the ground. Lyle and Pitnet to go to work on each other. Out the back, Willsmore and Arnott. But it's knocked forward. Pitnet, little handball, well played. Got it to Howe. Hawks get it to the wing. Jones can't quite. Is he held on to? Yes, he was. Got to hold on to it. Yep. Jones will have the ball, centre wing. All the players streaming back into the Hawks forward 50.
And Brolly could be the man here.
Unlikely to get a big hang. That's where he's headed though. Pitnet sits underneath it. Couldn't take it. Out the back, Cook. Got it away to Rivet. Rush kick. Got them out of trouble. O'Brien fisted away by Geray, who's lifted in the last couple of minutes. It's hacked towards the line by Arnott. Umpire says toss it back in.
That had to be a throw in that occasion.
Right in front of our commentary position.
As much as you're willing and your team willing to try and get that as delivery, that wasn't going to happen. 63 plays 58, ball tossed back in. Important ruck contest. Pitnet this time going against Waddell. They're rotating through. The ball spills to Whitecross. A big high ball. It's drifting across the face of goal. Dixon just to corral it over the line to be thrown in. 5 metres around from the behind post for Box Hill. The goal here would be enormous for the Hawks right now. As the boundary umpire gets into position, ball tossed back in. Waddell, Pitnet front position. No one able to break clear. O'Sullivan, Lane trying to extract the footy, aren't able to do so. As the pack collapses and the umpire will throw the ball up again. Deep into attack here for Box Hill. It's tossed back up. Pitnet front position, taps it towards goal. Here's one off the ground. It's behind. To behind. 64 plays 58. We're in that draw territory as Cook goes to the long ball outside 50. May only be temporary. Waddell, Pitnet got there first, got the hand in. Waddell 360, not going anywhere. And the umpire will throw the ball up.
It's been really good after half-time, Waddell. He's competed really well in the ruck, getting lots of hands on the ball.
Yeah, against the dominant ruckman in Pitnet. Now a quick kick inside 50 here for Box Hill. It's a long ball. Cook, he got hands to it. He's being harassed there by Lewis right near the boundary line. And it goes over. One more throw, and I reckon I've got to be here, Leeds, to try and get this play going. 64 plays 58. Remember, Richmond Williamstown tonight. Big game coming up. We'll be live from 6 and 11:16 SEN if we get there. Ball tossed back in. Waddell off hands. Lloyd just trying to get the ball out to Anastasio. Picks it up. He wheels around to high ball. It's going to be turned over. Excellent mark. Caden Brand takes it on centre wing for Box Hill.
And he's copped one from Haratuka. I'm not sure that it was all that vicious, but he was just so exposed as he took that mark, Brand. Opened himself right up and he's bouncing back. He's going to take his kick, I suspect. Looks a little sore, but he's okay. It is September after all. He goes inside the 50, all through the hands of Dixon, out the back. Cook needs to be clean. Had it stolen away by Jones. Chance for Lovell. Lost it. Got it back, snapped and missed. They're doing it in points, the Hawks. 65 to 58, 9 gone. Final turn.
Waddell to bring the ball back in, and he just goes straight up the guts. This is going to be dangerous. It's going to be cut off. And Howe's got it.
There's lots of players signalling to go up the middle, so he went up the middle, but none of those players went for the mark.
Howe inside the middle of Northport Oval, Stannard Stadium. He goes with a long ball, off hands, through the hands of Hooper. He has to go back in there again. A clearing kick. Disappearing outside the 50. No one can take the mark. It's in the path of Wolfenden, who has to be good paddles in front of him. Anastasio waits for the footy, and then it's turned over and turned over again. Lang worked it back out. They've tried to get some space. The 23rd man getting in the play there. Now Anastasio on centre wing, runs into a brick wall, gets around Pitnet. His kick is short. His kick not quite finding the target, but they have got the space there. If they can just get over the top, they can't. Teray again goes with a long ball. Into the path here, trying to paddle in front of him was Brolick. And Van Oonen there for company as well. We'll have it thrown in on 50 for Box Hill. 9-11, 65 plays, 9-4, 58, 10 gone, final quarter.
So these are the moments. Every contest from here on important. Waddell got it down. Lang couldn't take it. Might have been pushed in the back. Knocks it towards the line. Lovell comes up with it cleanly again. Beautiful kick to Willsmore, who can go from 49. That long left foot is going to go right to the line, but it's across the face and another behind. It's agonising stuff for Hawks fans. 66 to 58.
Van Oonen to bring the ball back in. So they've made the change there, the Borough. Now it's Dixon appealing for it right on the grandstand side. This is where Van Oonen is going to go. He's got Tom O'Sullivan, who's got to be careful. His paddles in front. Did well over the top. Haratuku, they've worked it back out here. There's nothing up ahead, so they've got to get it to Mercedes, who goes around the body. It's a high ball. It's going to be marked. Miles takes the mark for Box Hill. And he's looking to go to the other side of the ground, so they've got a little bit of space. Howe been important in this final quarter. His kick, finding O'Rourke. O'Rourke waits for the traffic. And then to Pitnet goes short and finds Willsmore. In fact, it's Whitecross who's got it. Gets around Van Oonen. His kick into the pockets. They fly. No one can take the mark. Mercedes there again. It's over the line. We'll have it thrown in. Port under pressure. Box Hill doing all the attacking. 66 plays 58. 11 and a half minutes gone in this final term. It's Casey comfortably over Geelong down at Casey Fields. Ball tossed back in. Again, the Rucks go at it. Cook into the ruck this time for Port Melbourne. Rivets had to get the kick away quickly. Anastasio just trying to paddle in front of him. He did well in the end there. Found Arnott, whose handball missed the target. And then he coat-hanging Miles, who picked it up. And Miles will take the free kick.
Yeah, just as he fell over, timing was just a little off. Nothing sinister in it. Miles has got it. 2 kicks from home for the Hawks, who are starting to win some moments. He comes inboard and finds Glass. 65 from home. He's got hands on this side of the ground. He's being told to go direct. He does. Going to find a contest. Lewis! In the one hand, if you don't mind, Mitchell. Kept it in front and then brought it into his chest, and he'll have the shot from 35 out, 5 in from the boundary.
Extraordinary one-hander. That was incredible.
Had a fairly quiet day. The 1 goal led the goal kicking for the Hawks this year with 37 to date. This will take some kicking. With heavy legs and a slippery footy to extend the lead. Currently at 8. He steps to the mark.
Oh.
It's off and away to the right. And it's another behind. 9-13, 67 to 9-4, 58. 12 gone, final term.
Harvey Hooper now to bring the ball back in. He kicks to himself. He's going to go to the grandstand side. The kick goes long and high. Plenty of numbers here. Pitnet and Lyle. It falls to the back. Jath works it across. And Glass kicks it inside 50 for Box Hill. Good pressure here. Good tackle by Cousins. Ball going nowhere, and the umpire will throw it up. Every moment crucial. The Box Hill controlling things. Midpoint of this final term. Pitnet just trying to get the ball down more. Hanrahan now going in ever diminishing circles. Gets the ball out. Shot from Howe is going across the face for another behind. 58 Port Melbourne, 68 Box Hill, a 10-point ball game, 14 gone, final term.
4 behinds to the Hawks. Just wonder how important that's going to be. This is going down the middle. It's a beautiful contact, but it's going to be chopped off. Tim O'Brien takes the mark. He's back in the centre circles. Hawks calling for him to get it in quickly. He does. A direct ball to the Lewis pocket. He can't this time. Knocked away by Cook. Good stuff towards the line. A chance for Dylan Moore. He got it. He was almost taken high. Umpire said he was.
Yep.
Again, he slipped over. There wasn't much the tackler could do, but it was high contact, and Dylan Moore will take the kick right underneath the scoreboard. Going to go with his right boot. Sets it up for Lewis to have a crack at. He's got front position. Dixon couldn't take it to the back. Spilled for Pitnet. Is the big man going to produce some magic? No. It's another behind. 5 for the quarter. 15 gone last turn. Hawks 69 to 58.
Man in the goal square too, Hilly.
Yeah, he had his hands in the air. It's completely clear. Just a little snap over the top, and that would have been a certain goal.
So, rotation continuing. Lucas Cook. Diaz comes in to create the spoil at 50. Still here, the Port Melbourne side working hard on, and he's worried off the footy. Hawks just doing it better at the moment. Rolling, Hanrahan, he has a shot, bouncing footy, goal! He's kicked the goal! Hanrahan gets his first of the afternoon, and there's your breathing space if you're a Box Hill supporter. They've been doing all the attacking in this final turn at the Fred Cook end of the ground. 10-15-75 plays 9-4-58. And we've played almost 16 minutes in this final term.
And that is just a heartbreaker for Port Melbourne. Just makes it that little bit harder.
I'll just give you an update from Casey Fields. 12 minutes into the final quarter. Casey 17-8, 110. Taking on Geelong 4-11-35. 12 minutes in the last.
Rivet out of the middle, goes to the pocket. It's going to beat all comers over the line. They'll toss it back in, but the Borough in a good position. Just felt like the dam wall eventually had to break, Hilly.
Yeah, it did. They just had so many repeat inside 50s there, Box Hill, and eventually something had to give.
So can the Borough find another one? They've refused to say die this afternoon. 30 points down at half-time. Put themselves back to within a kick at three-quarter time. But it's been all the Hawks in the last quarter. Ruck contest. Pidneck got it down. Can't find a teammate. Strong tackling from Miles, almost Sullivan, senior. And the umpire will come in and toss it up. Pidneck again down. Again O'Sullivan at the bottom of it. And again he's well tackled. And again the umpire will come in and toss it up. We're doing all this 25 out directly in front from Port Melbourne's goal. Was there a free kick in the ruck? No, allowed to go on. Anastasio dived on the footy. It's hacked away from the contest. Cousins does it again, but in the way Wolfenden lost it forward. Half a chance for Tom O'Sullivan. That was Junior. Is there a free kick on play? There is.
A four.
And it's going to go the way of the Borough. They might have been holding on after Junior got rid of the footy.
Gee.
Here's a beautiful kick of the pill, but this will take some doing.
Range just started up again, but what's the breeze doing, Hilly?
No, nothing at all at the moment. Pete's just dead still.
He's on the fence, gives you an indication of how tight the angle is. With 45 to cover, the kick on its way. It's going to come up short. It's fisted over. One behind the result, 9-5-59, trails 10-15-75, 18 gone, final term.
Felt like he just popped that one up for the contest in the goal square. Probably just needed to be a little bit more top of the goal square. Give the Rovers a chance.
As O'Brien doing the kicking in, he hugs the grandstand side. They fly more. Oh, he had a good piece of it. He gets it on the way down too. Just clearing the ball away. Patrick taking off the footy. The umpire says, yep. Played it beautifully.
He did.
He did a nice job, Brady Kilpatrick there. The umpire was in on it as well as Kilpatrick. Just backward of centre on the grandstand side. His kick up the line. Flying high there was Jones. It falls to the back. Burren numbers are here, but they got to be clean. Oh, Lloyd wasn't. He certainly wasn't. But King was ridden into as he picked up the footy. No, he's gone holding the footy.
No, he's gone for the underneath the knees.
He's tunneling.
The Box Hill player that came in on his back.
So Cousins anyway has the free kick. He's 65 from goal. He goes with a long high one. They fly. No, it can take the mark. Lloyd under pressure. No quick kick out of the pack. It's bobbling around. Having a go there, Ross. The kick past Lee smothered. Broling. He slid over at the crucial moment. Ross there again. He got the kick away, but it was smothered. Rivet trying to get it out of there. Haratuku, he's not going to get there in time. Whitecross gets it across. Here's an opportunity for the Irishman. Glass. Shot all the way to the goal line. It's through for a behind. It's through for a behind. 76 plays 59. We've played 19 and a half minutes in the final quarter, and this is almost last chance for Port Melbourne here.
Yeah, you can't imagine it'll be a long quarter with all the behinds. Knocked forward from the ball back in. 50 out. O'Sullivan won it and lost it forward. It's a throw. Chiath plays the advantage. He's got his man Kilpatrick inside the 50. Well played, King. Over the back. Hawks still in it. Lovell receives the handball. He can have a shot. Got round two. Got to the pocket. Squared across the ground and the mark is taken. And it's young Dylan Moore who comes up with it.
Excellent kick from Lovell. I thought initially he was going to blaze away at the goals from the pocket, but the centering kick was fantastic, and what may well set up the match-winning goal here.
Yeah. To finish it, he's got 1-3 to his name. He goes with a banana, and he's got 1-4 to his name. And the Hawks are making it very difficult for their supporters in this last quarter. 77-59.
They're just leaving the door just ajar. Only need one more to seal this.
Cook goes short. It's a good option. Luke Tynan has it. Deep inside defensive 50. Called to play on by the umpire. Cook's running alongside, now kicks outside the 50, the kick in for O'Sullivan Jr., but they've still got the numbers on that outer side, and the kick goes up the line. O'Brien has to be good, working on Glass at Box Hill. Glass got there first, he's tackled to the line, and the umpire says throw it in, centre wing, outer side. 77 place 59 here, as we wait for the ball to be tossed back in. Well, they definitely need the next one, as it's tossed back in here. Waddell going to work with Lewis. And it's just paddle forward. A chance here for the Borough as the kick goes inside the 50. Aratuku's got to be the flyer. One grab, not the second. Coming through, nicely done, Kilpatrick. Oh, there's a holding the footy decision though. It's going to be a Borough free kick.
And I reckon it's going to Haratuku, who can get the distance.
Yeah, he's the man, Khan. It looks like. Yep, he's just slightly off centre, but should be able to get the trip, you'd feel.
It just felt like a tiniest of breeze has picked up too, so if he was in doubt, I reckon he might have just a tiny little bit of breeze behind him.
So Khan Haratuku, he's another one that's played every game for the Borough this season. He's kicked 13 goals. This crucial, right on 50. Has it got the trip? It has! Just a little bit of life for Port Melbourne. As they bring that margin a little bit closer, we are into time on in this final quarter. 22 minutes, 22 and a half minutes gone. 10-17, 77 Box Hill. Port Melbourne 10-5, 65. Philly, to you.
As we said, that Box Hill were just leaving that door slightly ajar, and Port Melbourne taking an opportunity here. Only 2 goals down. It could have been 4 goals all over a minute ago. So they're still in this.
Only just though.
And so is the possibility of a draw. It's knocked away from the ruck contest. Sorry, Pete. Whitecross lost it forward and they're away. Walker to Templeton. The Borough through the middle of the ground. High ball. Hits to the top of the square. They need a mark. Nothing doing. Ball comes to ground. Hawks first there. Little handball okay. On the end of it, Kilpatrick can settle things down. Instead he goes quickly to Cousins and they're out. He's got a man over the top. He kicked into Cook on the mark, and Cook's taken over the line, and they live on, Port Melbourne. They'll toss it back in, slightly attacking side of centre wing. Grandstand side of the ground. 12 points the margin. 23 and a half gone. Final term. O'Sullivan sets himself for the contest. Haratuku to do the ruck work. Got in the man's back, but that was okay. O'Sullivan does come up with it. He had his head taken off. Oh, yes. It's going to be a free kick to Tommy. This is Senior, who's lifted in the last couple of minutes. He's going to go quickly inside the 50. Can't find a target. Knocked to ground. Arnott's the man. He picks up the foot. He got it to Pearson. Little one around the corner. No mark. Hawks a chance. Top of the square. Ball spills from Mercedes. And he kicks another one. You've got to be kidding me.
They are never out of a contest, especially a final.
3 goals to Mercedes. All of them remarkable in different ways. And Port Melbourne fight on. 24 and a half gone. 6 points the difference. Box Hill in front.
What a game of football.
I know. Again, these two sides putting on a show. Back in the middle we go. Haratuku gets it from Pitnet. The ball spills. Lang taken off the footy. Umpire says holding, free kick in the middle of the ground. And Lang will kick up towards half forward. Big ball, pushed off it. No call from the umpire. Pitnet's there. Now a chance for Box Hill. Oh, the kick terrible. Tynan picks it up for Port. And he goes around the body up towards 50. Glass trying to get there. Pearson near the boundary line. Dragging it back. Lyle's taking the mark.
He's just come on from the interchange, streamed forward at the change of the last goal. And what a mark to take under pressure.
He hasn't kicked a goal today, the captain. The man on the mark is about 3 metres from the goal square. Jordan Lyle had the 25 and a half minute mark to level the scores. Deliberate approach. He kicks the goal. We are back level Northport Oval in another classic between these two in a final. 10-17-77 Box Hill, 12-5-77 Port Melbourne. 26 minutes gone in the final term.
The Hawks have kicked 1 goal 7 in an excruciating final quarter of football.
Tell you what, we're loving the game. Don't worry about that.
Unbelievable contest here. Haratuku got it down the Hawks, stream forward through Whitecross. Wonderful pick up at half forward Malone. They got it away to Cousins inside the 50, but the ball is marked. And the Borough have it. Van Unen got it in the defensive 50. Asking for something to present. He's going to come across to the commentary side. Cook takes the mark in his defensive arc. He's going to go through the middle. Oh, Rivet missed it. Knocked away by Pitnet. Harvey Hooper picks it up. Got it back to Rivet. High ball to half.
He was dumped afterwards.
Oh, it's going to be a free kick down the ground. Mercedes plays on quickly and kicks the goal.
Oh!
Stannard Stadium's off its head. Mercedes has 4 of the best you'll see, and the Borough lead by a goal. 27 gone, final term.
Gee, it's down the ground, and advantage was taken immediately. Oh, goodness me. They've hit the front, Port Melbourne.
It was extremely smart play because if the umpire said no to it, all it would do is come back, so he just took
tackle put on, they're away again, the Borough. He's Wolferton from 50.
He's run too far.
He has. There's the call coming from the umpire. No, he is Glass. He's got some work to do deep in the back pocket for Box Hill. They're coming from everywhere here, the Borough. Stacks on, no one can get clear. There's a ball to be released. Giants can't get anywhere through there. Now they're piling in on top near the boundary line. It goes over. We will throw it in. We will throw it in. 83 plays 77. Ball to be tossed back in. 28 minutes gone. Quarters have gone around the 30-minute mark. It's tossed back in Pitnet front position. Haratuku at the back. Andrew Moore trying to clear the ball, but only as far as Templeton, who was pushed off the footy. Lang coming in. He lost a handle on it. Tynan just dribbling one underground. Again, the pressure on. Again, the whistles blow, and again, we'll have it thrown in where the boundary line and the 50 intersect. As we wait for this ball to be tossed back in, Box Hill need to run it the length of the ground.
There's only 25 seconds left on the clock.
25 seconds to see what they can do here. Pitnet down, no one can get clear. Kilpatrick was trying to force it forward. It goes back inside 50 for the Borough. You reckon they've almost done it here, but Box Hill have a shot as they work it across. Willsmore, they've got an opportunity. A long ball, O'Brien going a high ball up towards 50. It's clearing out. Here's the tip. Hanrahan kicks. Hanrahan is goal.
It's a draw.
It's a draw. That's the siren! Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Oliver Hanrahan with his second goal, and the scores are level at full time. We go to extra time. Box Hill 11-17-83. Port Melbourne 13-5-83 at full time. Wow. 5 minutes each way plus time on. They're the rules for extra time. And immediately, both sides not knowing what to do. But Gary Ayres was very quickly out of the box and running down to his team. And Chris Newman, he's down there as well. We'll have a short break and then we'll get into the extra time. But how was that? Hanrahan running into the open goal seconds before the siren went.
5 minutes each shall be played.
Unbelievable.
What can
I can't believe that.
We came here with high hopes of getting a contest this afternoon that was reminiscent and true to the rivalry that exists between these two wonderful clubs, and it has delivered and then some.
Oh, shake hand. You could see them building from half back though. The Hawks had all that space up the middle of the ground. and they just had to get it forward. And they did. They did.
Oh, Pete. I do feel for your boys that's got to get through another final tonight.
Well, we may not get there. We may not get there.
Emergency protocol going on everywhere. There's rub downs on the ground. Gary Ayres was straight out to his men, very calmly and very coolly. Hilly's right near that, is picking up everything that's going on. Just being addressed in one single group. For the Hawks, they're broken up into their sixes. Chris Newman walked straight onto the ground and just made sure he had all the information before he'd addressed his troops. And now, calmly and coolly, both clubs seem to have settled down from the absolute euphoria / disappointment of what was an unbelievable finish. It's 11-17, 83 to Port Melbourne, 13-5, 83 at full time.
I love the game final series. This is the first one. Shall we find out what's happening at Casey Field?
Sure.
Hasn't been as exciting, but 19-9, 123 Casey. Geelong 4-13, 37. So Casey's going to win there as they close in on full time. Just the atmosphere around this place right now is just amazing for both sides. I tell you, we can hear the siren clearly here, but that may have been a problem with the crowd there to be able to hear that siren. But it was clearly a goal.
No issues with it being before the sirens, but it was within less than seconds.
Paul Amy wrote about it in the Herald Sun Online. He talked about these two sides have close matches. He wrote a feature about it, and it's come true again.
Remarkable.
Hilly, where are you at the moment?
Just at the Port Melbourne huddle at the moment, and look, it's amazingly calm, Gary Ayres, and he's talking about trust and trusting your teammates, trusting one another, and sticking to their game plan. They feel like they've got the momentum here. They really do, although they were in front and didn't get had the goal scored against them in the last 2 seconds of play. They feel like they've got all the run, all the momentum, so they're quite confident.
Yeah, again, it's just those goals, those momentum stoppers. The Box Hill, we saw Andrew Moore at the end of the third quarter going and saying, right, he kicks the goal, it stops the momentum again. But let's see what happens here. The huddles break. Word from Gary Ayres. What was he saying, Hilly?
Yeah, look, totally talking about keeping the game on their terms and talking about trusting one another when the ball hits the ground, knowing where their teammates will be when they move forward. Setting up a bit better in that last quarter with 6 targets constantly in the forward line. So they're very pleased with where they stand at the moment.
Just I want a shout out to Mark Pitnet, who's had to contend with 3 ruckmen today rotating through on him. He's done a sensational job for Box Hill.
He's been enormous and one of the premier ruckmen of the competition, and he really has had to work overtime. And just in that last quarter, he put in some amazing sprints, just even from the boundary line to get back towards the centre-half back area to try and stop play.
Here we go, 5 minutes each way, 2 halves of extra time. We're into the first half of it.
Aratuku in the ruck, got it down. He lays a tackle, 3-on-1. The Borough ferocious around the footy. O'Sullivan and Andrew Moore had a little bit of a to-do. Amazing that they've got enough energy for such a thing. Ball tossed up, Aratuku won it down. Howard couldn't get a handle on it. Coming through Templeton, was he legged? No free kick. They'll do it all again. Centre circles is where we're operating. All tied up.
Lights are on and very dark at ground level at the moment.
Here's Aratuku, got it down but couldn't find a teammate. Cousins waiting for Moore to get a hold of it. He hacked it out of midair. Came off the shin of Lang. Here comes Hooper. Picks up the long ball. Drives it inside the 50. Dangerous. Out the back. Oh! Takes the mark. 25 out directly in front.
Geordie Lyle just read that better in the air. He could see it was coming over the back and made his way to be in that final position and the 4-man up in that marking contest. Fantastic effort from Jordan Lyle.
So the Borough, 13-5, 83, tied up with the Hawks. 1 minute gone in extra time, first half. Lyle to get the first of extra time, and he misses.
No.
Oh, they've got the heebie-jeebies at that end now.
Well, they both had, both teams. Ball to come back in.
Rarely miss a goal like that, Jordan.
O'Brien goes short. As Brand just pointing at the mark, saying push him back. Umpire says no, it goes outside the 50. It's a long ball. It's Haratuku just trying to push it back in. Works at the hoop, immediately pushed in the tackle by Dylan Moore. It goes over the line, we'll have it thrown in. 84 plays 83 in the first period of extra time. Remember tonight, Richmond and Williamstown. In fact, could someone ring the Swinburne Centre? We want those lights down here now. There's Pitnet, front position. Big hit up there is Moore. He's just going head first, and he's immediately tackled by two Borough players. The umpire will intervene again. He waits, and the umpire throws it up. Pitnet got front position and got the tap down as well. Not to any sort of advantage, but working his way through is O'Rourke. Handball over the top. Just going off the ground there was Wycross. Up to half forward now. Player taken off the footy. Moore's picked it up again. He's 360 in the tackle. It falls to Cook, paddling in front of him. He eventually picks up. He might be tackled over the line. And is by Howe. And the umpire will throw the ball in on that outer side. Just slightly into attack for Box Hill. It's Port Melbourne leading by a point. First period of extra time.
They'll toss it back in. Slightly attacking side of centre wing for the Hawks. Pitnet knocks it down, but O'Sullivan read it best before Pitnet got him in a big, strong tackle. Ball spilled free. Templeton over the top of it. Is it going to come out the back? Umpire's giving him a good chance.
Oh, bit of push and shove.
O'Sullivan's just in the wrong weight division there. I'm not sure that Pitnet's the man to pick on for him. They'll go at it again. Pitnet taken off the footy by Haratuku. Hawks free kick.
I don't think you can argue that one. He had his arms around him and pulled him back.
What about Howe, who was meant to have his minutes managed? No such luck this afternoon. He kicks it inside the 50. At the end of it, Dylan Moore. Was that a whistle? No. Allowed to go on. They'll toss it in. It went out in front of Cook. They're all cold and exhausted.
We've got 5 minutes plus time on. So how are we looking? Where do we think this will sit? About 8 minute mark? 7 minute mark?
Thereabouts. Probably 7. And I've got a final score, 129, plays 38. Casey, big winners over Geelong today.
Haratuku knocked it down, streaming through the Hawks. A chance for the goal from 14 out. That's Cousins, and he kicks it. And they're in front by 5 points. 4 minutes gone, first half of extra time.
Well, again, the Hawks standing up, Hilly.
Yeah, just hung in there, haven't they? Absolutely hung in there. They were gone with 25 seconds to go in the actual contest. Ball at the wrong end of the ground, and now they lead this game by 5. 5 points. Incredible.
Important centre contest here. The Box Hill midfield chatting to Mark Pitnet. He'll go up against Haratuku. Haratuku got the tap down. Clearance here from O'Sullivan Senior for Port Melbourne. He puts him inside 50. The fist comes in there from Brand, heading towards centre wing. It's going to be mopped up. Plenty of numbers here for Port Melbourne. The handball again. O'Sullivan will just work it back. They've got some teamwork going. This is a high ball going inside the 50. Ball to the back. Under pressure there was O'Brien. Still managed to do it. Oh, kick smothered though over the point line. Wow, that was Junior O'Sullivan that time. That's another behind. 89 plays 85 as we've played 5.5 minutes. We're into time on of the first extra time period.
Long ball from O'Brien. Lewis underneath it. Had it knocked away. Oh, strong tackle. Umpire was on the wrong side. He's called a play on. Port Melbourne wanted a free kick. There was nothing doing. Jones gets up. Wanders away from the contest. Umpire's going to toss it up. Haratuku and Pitnet to go to work. Haratuku got it down to Templeton. Couldn't take it cleanly. Rivet could. He kicks a high ball inside the 50. Hawks have 2-on-1. Big fist comes. Glass takes it to the line. Mercedes working alongside him. Hams is there and they see it over. still 4 points
Box
to
Hill
margin.
just need to talk. Box Hill players just need to talk to each other there. They certainly had the right spot to get the mark there, and instead they both basically spoiled each other, and now it's a real chance for Port Melbourne to score from this stoppage.
6 gone, first half, extra time. Conway went without it. Andrew Moore had it. Conway got him. Ball spilled free. Cousins emerges with the pill again. Drives it to the wing. Strong mark almost, not quite for Jones. Hacked forward. Who's going to be first to it? Anastasio couldn't come up with it. It goes inside the 50 for the Hawks, and it's a foot race. It's going to be Hooper first back. Needs to be calm, and he is. Picks up the ball and drives it to the wing. O'Brien's going to be first there for the Borough. Lovely hands. Oh! No good. Henry Moore not paid the mark. Didn't travel 15. The kick comes to Lewis. He spilt the easiest of marks. It came out the back to Howe. Little handball around the corner from Hams. Hawks inside 50. The mark is taken. And it's Jones who stood tall and brought it to ground. He's on a 45-degree angle, and he'll have to carry 45 metres.
Oh, I don't think there'll be any problem with the trip here. It's been a very still day, so I don't think that'll be a problem. He kicked a goal in the opening quarter. Oh, this is huge now.
You can see with the flag behind the goals, it's blowing right to left, boys. There's a little bit of breeze just up at that end at the moment.
End of the first half of extra time. Jones gets the goal. And look at the Hawks get to him.
Please note it is now a direct swap event.
Now we're going to swap in straight away here.
So no access to the playing arena during this time.
There's no huddles, nothing like that. We just switch over straight away and we play another 5 minutes plus time on. The second period of extra time coming up quickly. It's a 10-point ball game. 13-17-95 Box Hill. Port Melbourne 13-7-85. And immediately we will switch ends. And we will get this second period of extra time underway. Just repeating the final score from Casey Fields, 29-129 Casey, Geelong 4-14-38. Casey through to the prelim final, Geelong here next week. So, we get into positions, the players have changed ends. 5 minutes plus time on to come. It's a 10-point lead to Box Hill in a classic between these two again. The lights are on. It's a gloomy evening in Melbourne. These two sides have lit it up today. What a way to start the Love the Game final series.
Oh, the goal umpires.
The goal umpires just need to confirm the score, and they do now. Right, so we've got that sorted. Now they can run into position. And that's fair enough too. They need to make sure that the scoreboard was right. It is right. It is a 10-point ball game. The emergency umpires out here too, next to the Box Hill bench.
You can't make any interchanges, so they're making sure that nobody interchanges until the ball is bounced.
All right, well it will be now. Here we go, second period extra time. Ball back in the middle. Pitnet was taken off the footy. It's cleared by Andrew Moore for Box Hill. The kick going out towards half forward. Van Noonan just goes off the ground, trying to put it into space. Working the front position here is O'Rourke. He's got to be clean, but he's lost the footy. Arnott just hacks it forward. No one can get through. Pearson just to push his opponent off the footy. He does well. Now a tackle laid, no chance. Here's O'Brien. He's taken once, twice. He's taken high. It's a free kick, and it's going the Hawks' way. And just going up the line, they're just steadying here. They can play for time because the Borough need 2 goals to win the game. The kick heads up towards half forwards. Dixon, Ross.
Out in the full.
Out in the full, the results. Okay. So Cook to take it. No, he gives it to Waddell. Waddell's got it, half back. He's just going to go short for Dixon. Dixon takes the mark. Now Tynan's the furthest option here. Goes for Van Noonan at centre half back. It's a dangerous option. Plenty of Hawks surrounding here. Van Noonan has to go back in again, just paddling it through. It was kicked away from Wolfen in the bar. The Tynan now Wolfen in again in the middle of Northport. He kicks up towards half forward. It beats the initial pack. Tap forward. O'Sullivan Jr. pushed off it by Glass. No call from the umpire. Glass goes back in again. They pile in on top. Pushing forward O'Brien. Was he held? No, said the umpire. Working hard there again. There's O'Sullivan. It's a handball over the top. Senior O'Sullivan near the boundary line. He fumbles it over. We'll have it thrown in on 50 for Port. Boy, Time ticking down, a minute and a half in this extra time period. The second here, 5 minutes plus time on to decide this one.
Couple of goals gets it done for the Borough. How early can the Hawks just hold on to the footy? Extra time in this amazing rivalry. It continues here as Andrew Moore tries to get it away, but it's Wolfenden who gets it tumbling inside the 50 for Box Hill. Approaching it is Mercedes. Was he taken high? Brand right on his heels. And they'll toss it back in, deep in the forward pocket. We're working 10 metres around from the point post grandstand side of Stannard Stadium. And it's a chance for the Borough to get back within 4 points if they can manage a goal. Toss back in. No real winner there initially. Andrew Moore had it, and in fact, make that Hams. Was that holding the footy? No. Umpire will come in and toss it up again.
This just suits the Hawks, doesn't it? 2.5 minutes gone in the second extra time period.
Pitnet, no, Ruckman got near it, hacked out of the air. O'Sullivan had a fresh area. Andrew Moore lost it forward. Wolfenden tried to do the same. No unclean possession. Out the back. Tom O'Sullivan Jr. High ball. Chance for a mark, but it's going to be taken by Hams. Was there a free kick? I thought there might have been a block. There was. It's going to go back to Whitecross. So Whitecross has it, and I just wonder, can the Hawks start winding down the clock? He's going to go down the line, Peter Mercado.
3 minutes gone in the second extra time period. The kick, one grab, not the second for that poor player. It's off hands. Pearson's got it. Hacks it inside 50. Trying to put it into the path there of Walker. He couldn't pick it up. And this is going to suit the Hawks here as the ball is on 50. It's near the boundary line. It goes over. It's pinballing around in there. No one can get clear air. And there's no one forward of centre for Box Hill. No one. It's all contained in the forward half for Port Melbourne, understandably so. 3.5 minutes gone. Ball tossed back in. Pitnet couldn't get a clean run at it. The Hawks still come up with possession though. Little dribbling ball, dangerous to get onto it here. Ross has got some runners. And now a long ball from Cousins. It's a high ball. Hand again! He's gone over 50, but it's a push. It's a push. He was off to the races again. 4 minutes gone in the second extra time period. The Borough need to go up the middle of the ground. It's a turnover again. I think they've almost done enough here. The Hawks go deep inside 50. No mark taken. Tynan. Got to be careful here, Tynan. Tynan paddles to the line. Umpire says behind. Margin 11 points, 4.5 gone in this second period of extra time. The Borough need to go the length of the ground and then score another one.
Ball comes back in, well marked, taken by King. Haratuku straight on the ground. The King's going to go more direct. They need a clean set of hands or a fist out the back, but the Hawks come up with it. Lewis couldn't take it. Handball forward. Whitecross going to be first there for Box Hill. He hacks it towards the wing. The man all on his own.
You want the boundary line here.
He couldn't.
That's deliberate.
It's going to be.
No way!
They'll toss it back in.
Where else was he going?
Dying stages. We're into 5 minutes. Time on of the second half of extra time, and the Hawks have the 11-point lead.
It's time on now, Leedsy. Only about a minute or two to go.
Ball won by the Hawks. Andrew Moore, Pitnet, read it off the pack and then hacked it inside the 50. No mark taken. Tynan go round the corner. Hawks have it. Howe takes the mark, and now steady heads need to prevail. He's got Willsmore short, and he takes the mark on the wing. He's in no rush. Seconds counting down. Long left foot, deep into the pocket. 2-on-1, the Borough have it. Tynan takes the mark.
Yeah, they've done enough here, I think, the Hawks. Tynan, and this defence just locks down for Box Hill. Hooper in the opposite pocket on the outer side. He kicks up the line. They need to go quick here. Masiti's got it and runs on. His kick going high. Haratuku's got to fly, but he's outmarked. And again they get steady. It's Hams. He goes across the ground. Looking for Nash. It's near the boundary line. No one picked it up, but they weren't really in any sort of hurry either. And you can understand that. 11 points the margin. 6 gone in this second period of extra time. What a game it's been. Stannard Stadium. We've still got Richmond and Williamstown tonight. And Collingwood and Essendon tomorrow. Wolfenden, quick hands off. Now the kick inside 50 they need to make. They won't get it. They won't get it because Lewis is there. Just going to take their time. No rush whatsoever. If you're a Box Hill player, kick up to centre wing, going to be mopped up again. It's Cook who's got it. He's going to be paid the mark. Oh, I don't think there's going to be long to go. Time's going to beat them. He goes back inside 50. It's a bouncing footy. It bounces over the initial pack into the pocket, and we'll have it thrown in. There's your siren. What a win. What a game. The Box Hill Hawks get the job done.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's full
Amazing
time.
game here at Stannard Stadium. The Box Hill Hawks 13-18-96. Port Melbourne 13-7-85. An epic encounter. The last kick with about 3 seconds left from Oliver Hanrahan sent us to extra time, and then the Hawks got the job done like only the Box Hill Hawks can. Let's run through the goal kickers to full time as we can hear the song in the background, Hawks fans. To Jackson Ross, Chris Jones and Oliver Hanrahan and Brendan Whitecross as well. Singles to Andrew Moore, Brolick, Dylan Moore, Lewis and Cousins. And for Port Melbourne, 4 goals to Damien Masidi. Singles to Rest, Rivet, Haratuku, Tom O'Sullivan, Senior Tom O'Sullivan, Anastasio, Pearson, Hooper and Jake O'Brien. They led by 10 points at quarter time. The Hawks 30 at half time, 6 at three-quarter time. And in extra time, they win by 11.
Sorry, Pete, just to cut in over the top. Yeah, joined by Brendan Whitecross, and mate, what an epic game.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we had the momentum in that first half, and we knew that Port were going to come back, and as soon as they get a bit of confidence, a bit of momentum, they're a very hard side to stop, and they showed that. Just lucky we got that goal right on the death knock there. But it's always a good battle against this side, and it showed today.
Your team came out firing certainly in the first half, and in particular that second quarter. You really got control of the game, and then obviously there was a little bit of a slip up there in the third quarter. We went away from the game plan a little bit.
Yeah, look, we did the basics and the simple things really well to suit the conditions, and we just played wet weather footy in that first half, and we managed to get some dominance on the scoreboard and in the game. But second half, not that we tried to do too much, but we tried to play a little bit of dry weather footy, and it killed us. And unfortunately, our turnovers brought them into the game, and then that's when they started to get a flow on. So we rectified that after the fourth quarter, and we managed to get it back in our favour.
We'll walk over, join your teammates, but what was going through your mind when we went for the backheel goal, which was one of the highlights of the season?
Yeah, look, it's certainly one of my finer highlights of my career, but look, as soon as I saw everybody starting to run away from the ball, I just thought I'll give it a go and see what happens.
You knew the space was behind you.
I knew there was no one on the goal line, I just hoped I got the distance.
Fantastic stuff, and upwards and onwards to next week, to have a little break, training on Monday.
Yeah, look, we'll certainly learn a lot from that second half in particular. So next week, going into the next final, we'll make sure that we get those things right, make sure we get the fundamentals right, and then our game plan and everything else should look after itself.
Beautiful, Brendan. Thanks again for your time on VFL Live. Go and enjoy the win with your teammates. Good stuff, mate.
Thank you, Hilly. Thank you for your work today as well. Enjoy Father's Day tomorrow too. Glenn Hill on the boundary. Have a listen to this. The Hawks make their way into the rooms. They get the job done. 13-18-96 to 13-7-85. Leedsy, what a finish as the Borough make their way off the ground as well. Their supporters around them too.
Heartbroken players, but look at the fans. If you've ever seen a team clapped off with more appreciation for effort, both Hawks fans and Borough fans on their feet for both these wonderful clubs, and the players have given absolutely everything. They can walk away disappointed, but with their heads held high.
Oh, they can. For extra time final. That's the first one of 3 that we're covering. We're going to be heading off to Punt Road Oval, the Swinburne Centre at Punt Road Oval, for the next final, which isn't too far away. And it is the match between Richmond and Williamstown, and we're certainly looking forward to that one. And then tomorrow back here, Collingwood and Essendon. I don't think my voice could handle 3 extra time games Leeds in one weekend.
You did a wonderful job bringing all that. That was some sort of contest.
Well, this is our last video stream game for the season in the Peter Jackson VFL. There will be some women's streaming coming up over the next couple of weeks. Thank you to Morgan over the back, who's been here every single week 1 all the way through to the end, and his team of people from SRS who've done a great job in terms of putting all of this together each and every week. But that's about it for us here at Stannard Stadium. I've got to get in the car. Bring the car around, Leeds. I've got to get to Punt Road. From 6, we will be there live for you from Punt Road, the Swinburne Centre, for Williamstown and Richmond. Tomorrow, back here, 1 o'clock on 11:16 SEN for Collingwood and also Essendon. Earlier, it was KC, big winners over Geelong in the qualifying final, and here it went to extra time. Port Melbourne getting the win by 11 points. We'll catch you again later tonight and also tomorrow as we continue the Love the Game final series on Peter Jackson VFL Live.